We're all in super good moods today, everybody. Just wanted to say. Really, really good moods.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what Gollum does to you.
This is what Gollum does to a man. I had nightmares last night. I got PTSD. No, actually, Gollum was lots of fun. I laughed my ass off at my own ineptitude at gaming. And as I don't think he'll ever be okay again, but thank you for going through that with me. Welcome to the Real BBC, bagging, boarding, and chatting. I'll grab some comics and bag some boards in a bit.
Bagging.
I'm approved by the comics code today. Sure, it's like 25 years old. What are you bagging and boarding as?
Bagging and boarding some Batman War Games.
Oh,
So I'm going through the Batman War Games saga. So I'll be going through a multitude of different boots.
Is that a Grell cover?
Huh?
Wagner cover. Why did I say Grell?
He looks like a Wagner cover.
It's a Wagner cover.
Yeah.
Why did I say Grell? That's a good mic. Getting old, dude.
It looks like him. Like Matt Wagner. Matt Wagner, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of looks like it, doesn't it?
It does look like it.
Those muscles.
Yeah, I mean, such a good mood. Got myself a really nice statue coming.
Eventually.
And you know, my house, it's the size of a postage stamp. And I set my stream up to start at 1 p.m. today, go from 1 p.m. through to 5 p.m. Get an hour, get something to eat, get ready for this stream. Get my comics up, backboard, blah. So I finished my stream and have this message from the person I bought the statue from. And I thought, oh, they're probably going to go, oh, send it. It's going to be arriving tomorrow, something. And it said, oh, hi, Az. You missed your delivery today. See attached. And they've attached the couriers. And it said, we attempted to deliver today at 12:50 p.m. I was like, 12:50? Before I started streaming. When nobody came to my door to attempt a delivery.
Do you have
I ate couriers. I ate them.
Do you have a... Well, they're not great in your country, dude.
No.
There's only one service that actually delivers reliably from here to there, and it's FedEx, and they're freaking expensive as hell.
And expensive as hell, because I know, because I'm having a bespoke thing sent to me from the States at the minute, and I was like, let's bypass USPS because they tend to be A, shit, and B, try and find an address. Good luck. And so they went around to all the couriers, FedEx, USP, you know, all of that sort of stuff. They were 5 times more expensive.
Mm-hmm.
5 times.
Oh my God.
So I ended up going, fuck it, we'll risk USPS. And
that's a crapshoot.
And then
internationally.
Let's just see what happens.
Wow. Not a very ladylike position right there.
Well, I mean, it's gonna jump on your bones.
I like it. I like it. Every day. Hey, you know what's gonna put us in a good mood? The chat. The chat.
Hey, chat.
Hi, chat.
Hi, chat.
You'll put us in a good.
Hi, chat.
It's not that.
What's up, chat?
It's a minor irritants, right? And I'll deal with it. I always deal. What I do. What my process is, I get pissed, then I get over it like almost immediately. Kind of frustrates my wife because I'll get really mad.
And by the way,
How so?
How so?
Can I just get
because she's like, "How do you get over stuff so fast?" And I'm like, "I don't know," because I got the next thing to be pissed off about.
Yeah.
Oh no. On to the next.
On to the next thing. I don't want to be pissed all day. What's up, Az?
I was just gonna say, and can I just also say, by the way, that if you want to fucking ride my coattails and I tell you to fuck off, that's not my fault. That's a you thing. Some people need to hear that as well.
Okay.
Believe me.
Okay.
I just wouldn't put a tail on my coat.
I was going to say, as I was waiting for MauLer to go, is that a personal attack or something? Hi, MauLer. What you doing?
Good, doing good. Spent basically all day, every day for the past few weeks now editing. You guys in chat, if you want to see it, the results of that will be months from now. Not gonna be more
Yay.
specific than that, but so that means it could be 2 months, could be 4 months, could be 10 months. Not gonna be more specific until I can.
It's
nail
not
it
a
down.
month. We have determined it's not a month.
Yes, I can put out that it's not gonna be a
It's
month.
plural.
But good God, it's big. Not necessarily my
Oh.
biggest. Still gonna leave it mysterious on that.
That's what she said.
But a lot of the Azes and Garys of the world know what this video will be about. They've even seen pieces of it. But
Have
I'm sure
Have I seen pieces of this one?
I can't. I think
I
I know
have.
I've shown Gary some stuff. I may
It's
not.
it's wicked good.
I might have seen a couple of things actually.
Oh my god, it's good.
And still, I got a fucking bunch of other things to do. But I think you'll like it.
There
when you
are
say-
gems. There are gems.
Mm.
Absolute gems that are going to go down in pop culture history.
Hey,
of-
Gary.
See, the thing we like to do, I think all three of us. Oh, I'm seeing a big reflection.
Yeah, what's that number there?
131.
131. What does that say there?
That says Robin.
That says Robin. Who's that?
That's Robin.
Which Robin?
You need to get like way. That is Tim
Obviously,
Drake.
the one
That is
from
Tim
the Gotham Knight
Drake.
TV show, right?
That's Tim Drake Robin.
Oh.
That's
Yes,
straight.
correct.
The one that likes to crush pussy.
Yeah, the one
Okay.
that the one that's been crushing spoilers poos for 30 years. That just suddenly got given to a gay female writer who just made him gay. And then had a book cancelled after 10 issues.
Big shock. Utter shock.
This is my
Well-
Gary. This is my shock face.
This is what's leading into the I guess the whole point. I can't there's one subject I can't talk about because it's the entire subject of my next video, so I don't want to spoil it. Okay. But one of the consequences of what's going on, flash flopping and the conversation of superhero fatigue going on is Comic-Con. But real quick, going back to when I was talking about MauLer is very good. I like to do it too. Az likes to do it too. We all like to find quotes, find the cell phone, find the ultimate self-own. Because if you let adult pretenders and these, and I'm using air quotes, creatives of Hollywood talk long enough, they will fucking bury themselves every single time. And quite frankly, it's easy. But it's hard to find the quotes when there's so many now. MauLer has found gems, absolute gems. What movie, what subject? I can't tell you. But he's found some fucking gems. I can't wait for you to see him.
Mine.
Have I saw?
Yeah, I saw this cell phone. Yeah,
It was beautiful.
Oh, there's so many. There's-
Beautiful. Oh my God.
you go digging sometimes, and you find nothing, and then sometimes you find a big old diamond. You're
You
like,
find a big
"Whoa."
old diamond, like a blood diamond. Then you kill Leonardo DiCaprio or whatever. I don't even remember how that movie ended, to be honest with you. It was so
Something about
long
a
ago.
They left with the diamond.
They
I
left with
think
the
a bear
diamond.
raped him.
Oh, that was Titanic. Sorry, I mixed it up.
Oh, that's the one.
Yeah, right.
The remake.
Bears on the Titanic.
MauLer, you and Metal or Fringy watched the Indiana Jones trilogy.
Me and Fringy.
You and Fringy.
Because Rags would have been with us, but he's on holidays.
Okay, wait.
Just like-
Wait. What does a dog do on Hollywood? Did
I
they just
don't
open the gate and let him go and then hope he comes back?
Aw.
Of all the times Rags and Drinker could go on a holiday, they do it right as Indiana Jones: The Dial of Destiny.
Oh, they do it together? Oh.
It
Oh
might be.
wow!
I'm just saying it's a bit of a coincidence. I don't
Can a dog get drunk?
Wait a minute. Drinker took a
Probably.
holiday this week?
Rags gets very drunk, and yes, Gary and I talked to him about how much of a strange
Drinker!
that was.
Cancel your vacation. The world needs your Indiana Jones review.
You know what I said to him was, of all the things coming out this year, if
This-
there was a leaderboard of things we want to hear Drinker's opinion on, the
This
Dial
is
of
number
Destiny must be
one.
number one.
Absolutely number one. Oh my God. Yeah, I've like cleared all schedules and everything for this mofo.
But yes, Rags can get very drunk very quick. He's known for this.
Oh.
Well, I mean, dog.
3 beers,
I thought that
then
was
he's down.
small dog.
So you saw the
know?
Indiana Jones, the 3 that exist again.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that crystal thing at some point,
Oh,
probably.
just don't.
Well, you know me. I gotta know how, because they're building that one's canon to them, to this new one. So I gotta know if they fuck that up too, which will be funny if they do. For example, like, they go through all that fucking effort to bring Marion back and have them marry, and now they're divorced again at the beginning of this one. And I say again, you know what I mean?
And listen, that's a very Hollywood thing to do. Like even back in the 90s and stuff, when so-and-so would get the girl, if there was a sequel, they were broken up.
Yeah.
Austin Powers made a joke of it. So which was great. But like that's been going on forever. So that's good. Nerdrotic Jr. and Melissa watched Raiders of the Lost Ark last night in the home theater. I wasn't able to participate.
That's really weird because I was just a bit too tired when I was in bed, and I really nearly did put Raiders of the Lost Ark on.
But instead, you put on some Pornhub, had a little whack,
put on some,
went sleep.
Well,
Like you said,
Gary,
Pornhub.
I put on some celebrity,
Pornhub.
Celebrity jihad, and
Celebrity jihad, yeah, dude. Oh god, we were talking about the fappening after the gaming thing last night, and Az couldn't remember the name, so he called it the Celebrity Jihad.
What?
I was dying. He's all. I can't remember what it was called. The Celebrity Jihad. I'm like, not the fappening. I think the Celebrity Jihad is a better name, to be honest with you.
I know what I've heard. I know what I've heard.
Oh no. I should be laughing.
Oh my god. The memes that will come from the Celebrity Jihad. It will be glorious. Hi, MauLer. Oh.
Okay.
Funny enough, Redland Media put out coverage of Temple of Doom. And,
They did. Did they rip it?
Much like myself. Well, no, well, from what I haven't seen it fully yet, but it looks like Mike loves it and Rich is like 50-50 on it. I love Temple of Doom. I think it's great. And I'll defend it easily.
I will defend it too. And I've told you this before, but this is for the audience. I didn't like it that much when it came out. I was like 14-year-old Gary was like, the raft thing bugged the shit out of me. I thought that was dumb as fuck. And
it is dumb as fuck.
It is. But I've grown to love it. So I really freaking like Temple of Doom. For one, it's like the most non-PC Indiana Jones film of them all. Chew monkey brains. They don't give a fuck, and I love it. I fucking love it. So, Kate Capshaw, a little annoying, but our friends
very annoying.
Very annoying, but she was also in another movie I liked that came out around that time that Creature Features, our buddy at Creature Features just showed, Dreamscape.
Oh.
Love that movie.
I like Dreamscape.
It's weird. It's really low budget, but I love it. Yeah, Temple of Doom. So I saw their video came out and I'm gonna watch it. I like Temple of Doom.
Last Crusade is still my fave.
Same.
I adore that.
We're talking, between that and Raiders, we're talking.
No, Raiders is 1,000 times better than The Last Crusade. Okay, sorry.
1,000 times better?
1,000 times better. Yes.
My goodness.
Yes. Narratively better. It's a little more serious. Marcus Brody is depicted better in the first one. It's not even effing close. Now, you're youngsters and you're going to like the fun, whimsical stuff a little more.
Az? He just said
Az is wrong. And Az is younger than me. Everybody's younger than me right here. So it doesn't matter. You guys can believe what you want.
Right. Was that a discriminatory age thing there, Molly?
Is
what
this
do you
an
mean?
ageist
He
thing?
did it first. Go after him first.
It's fine. I love Last Crusade. Last Crusade's the second best one. Okay, no doubt. It's freaking awesome. But Raiders is the greatest single movie ever made. Period. Okay, so like no. F no.
Wait, what's your pick for single greatest movie of all time?
Oh shit.
Because I know mine. I know Gary's.
You know mine.
This is wow, man. This is tough.
What one was nominated for Best Picture?
Well,
Raiders of the Lost Ark. And what did it,
we
what did it fucking
respect
lose
the
to?
Oscars now, do we?
Back then, yeah.
I mean, like that is so so hard to answer because there's films I love. I don't know if there's one that I hold in esteem above others, but like if they said, right, you're gonna be stuck on a desert island, and you can only take one film to watch over, and that's it. I'd be tempted to take like The Matrix. I do love The Matrix.
Good
It's
film.
just got
Do you
such
feel
a
comfortable saying it's your favorite movie?
Of all time, ever.
No, I don't. I don't feel comfortable saying that's my favorite movie of all time. But it's a wonderful film that I do love to watch over and over again.
I won't make you commit, but give me some examples of who'd be in the running for your favorite movie of all time.
Okay, Temple of Doom, Empire Strikes Back, Matrix, Batman Returns. I think it's just such a great comic book movie. Oh man.
When you said Temple of Doom, did you mean Last Crusade?
Did I say Temple of Doom?
Yeah.
Sorry, I must have, because we've just been talking about it. Last Crusade. Sorry, Last Crusade. God, then you got stuff like, Superman. It's a beautiful film. Love Superman.
Superman the movie.
I love, like.
Oh my God! Just come up with a fucking answer, as you don't need to rattle off 1,000 movies.
Get some fucking examples, Gary.
Just give us one fucking movie, for fuck's sake.
I watch John Wick over and over and over and over again. I watch The Equalizer, which is not the greatest movie of all time, but I watch that over and over and over and over again.
He continues to list off 20 fucking movies.
2001: A Space Odyssey. I just get lost in that. Star Trek: The Motion Picture. I just get lost in that.
Lord of the Rings,
Lord
greatest
of the Rings trilogy.
greatest
extended edition,
trilogy,
I get lost in
greatest
them,
single
and-
movie, Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's see, when you know, you know. I've known that since I saw it. Since I walked out of that theater, I'm like, that's the greatest fucking movie I've ever seen. That gave me everything I like. That gave me everything I liked. Now,
It's a toughie, more.
it's obviously he can't answer the question, but thank you for taking 10 minutes to do that.
I did ask him to give me examples.
Darren, I am
of what
sorry
could
for
be.
talking and creating conversation on a fucking podcast, okay? I apologize. I know you're a busy man, Gary.
I
and you want to end
accept
the
your
stream
apology.
right now, but we've got to go
Thank
a
you,
little
good
bit
night.
longer, okay?
I really genuinely just wanted a goddamn answer.
Oh, Gary. Hey, I've just seen a cover. I've just seen this cover. Who's this? Who's that on the cover? You know who
I
that
could
is?
give a guess judging by that.
The
Text.
title?
Does it say?
Is it
Oh,
Electra?
no. Okay. No, is it Batgirl? No, it's not Batgirl, MauLer.
I just guessed Electra. That's closer, right?
Oh, no,
She's
no,
red.
this is DC. She's Marvel, mate.
Oh,
Fucking.
Who's that,
obviously,
Gary?
yeah.
Come on.
I can't see it. Hang on. Blow him up.
let me
The
solo.
Scarlet Pimpernel.
Wow.
Asian with a eye patch. Female Asian eye patch.
Not me.
Drawing a blank right now. I didn't read that title.
Did Marvel and DC ever do crossover things in comics?
This is Lynx.
Links. Okay. I didn't read Batgirl.
She appeared in. Wasn't it Robin? Was it Robin? No, Robin 2 was Joker's Wild. Robin, I think it's Robin 3. Robin or Robin 3 miniseries before the main series.
Wasn't a big reader of the Robin 3s and the Batgirls.
Okay.
I was more of a Marvel guy, reading everything
Because
Marvel.
there was Snake, wasn't there? Snake, was it Snake
Yep.
who was
I always thought that
no, Lady
Multiverses-
Shiva. Lady Shiva was the trap. That was the trap, was to say Lady Shiva. That was the trap.
Oh.
I thought Gary was going to say possibly go Lady Shiva.
No.
you know how
Lynx.
it's like when they're desperate, it's
Links
time
I
travel,
know,
when they're
but I didn't read
ultimately
that book.
desperate, it goes multiverse. I would have thought the final stage for Marvel and DC would be a crossover, right? That would be like their last gasp, Batman versus Spider-Man or something.
What
Well,
you
they've
mean?
done stuff. They've done that. They did amalgamation.
Yeah.
They did,
Well, no, I'm saying for the movies now.
For the
do you think
movies,
that would be,
that
something
would
they'd
be
ever
their
try?
last gasp. That will never happen. I would just
No?
not unless Warner Brothers sold off DC, which I mean is a possibility. I mean, people talk about like Disney selling Lucasfilm, which is I would say next to zero, as close to zero as you can get. Warner Brothers, they were $50 billion in debt a year ago. I don't know what that is now. I'm sure it's still tens of billions of dollars. That's insurmountable. That's
where have they made
crazy.
money? Where?
Well, I don't know where they're going to make money.
Exactly.
Okay, well, that's the whole shell game that Hollywood is right now. It's falling apart, and it's getting crushed by the streamers, the big tech streamers who do have liquid like Apple and Amazon, and Hollywood's basically on their teat right now, and the investor money is gone. So, reality is setting in with Paramount. Paramount's going to eventually have to go to licensing. That's pretty clear. They're going to have to become part of a bigger streamer. Warner Brothers probably going to become part of a bigger streamer. Apple will buy their way in, and some people like what they do, but they don't have a footprint in pop culture at all because of their proprietary bullshit. And it's available everywhere now, but people still see Apple as like Android users. We are just programmed not to touch Apple stuff anymore. So I don't subscribe to Apple TV. I don't think I ever will. There's nothing there that has made me want to subscribe to Apple TV. And I cover pop culture. Yeah, I see a lot of big stars and a lot of potential woke programming from a really woke company that enslaves people in China.
I should have asked, by the way. You have to keep it in a lower time than Az pulled it off, but actually, what's your favorite movie of all time? 9 words or less.
Mulan. I mean, okay, so if you look at it at like most watchability, I'd probably say between that and Lion King were like my two I can watch forever and ever and ever and ever. So
see how quickly she answered that question because she knew.
MauLer said, "Give me some examples, Gary."
Don't blame it on MauLer.
Some examples.
What's your favorite all-time movie? Az?
Your mum.
Which one?
on
Which mom? Az?
That one.
Which one? I have two. You got to be specific. See, you can't even answer that.
And I will say, the original question was, what is your favorite movie? So he's got a point. He's got a little
What's your favorite movie, MauLer?
Prestige.
There you go. See how quickly you answered?
I gave you The Matrix.
That's a damn good movie. Damn good movie, Prestige. Love it.
It's my favorite Nolan movie. I'm not even that fond of him as a creator.
I like Insomnia. I think that's really good.
I like his first half of his work right now. The second half, not so much. With Tenet and what are those? Interstellar, obviously. Inception. I wonder how that's aged.
Melissa can back me up on this one because she was with me in the theater. We were watching Insomnia, and the guy in front of us was snoring and throughout the whole fucking movie, and we were just laughing and ruining it.
That's the one movie you're allowed to sleep in, okay?
That's kind of like Inception.
Well, there's
so funny.
Within a dream going on, I'll tell you that. Wait a minute. Whoa. Yeah, I like Inception. I haven't seen it in years, though. I've only seen it like...
Inception's
I
good.
feel like I want to watch it now just to see how it has aged.
Also, that poll, by the way, Gary, is your answer to that Lord of the Rings or Indiana Jones? I can't remember.
So the poll is, what is your favorite trilogy?
Oh, Lord of the Rings is my favorite trilogy, but Indy would be a very, very close second. Like, extremely close
I think
second.
that's fair. That's probably what I would say as well.
But Lord of the Rings is better because it's...
more consistent.
I like Temple of Doom, but like if we want to compare second movies, Two Towers is better. It's got a better ending. But Return of the King, Last Crusade, really equal footing, I'd say. Fellowship, Raiders, equal footing. I think it's that second movie. What do you think, guys?
I think it's one huge film. Isn't it? It's one huge.
Well, you can say that about Indiana Jones.
No, you can't. You can't. No, you can't.
I just did.
Because Temple of Doom, for starters, is a prequel to Raiders of the Lost Ark.
At the end of the first one, it goes, ooh, and then he has a little flashback, and it's a really long flashback.
I imagined when you did that, your tentacles are going.
Like, Marion, remember, there was a time I was running around with a little Asian boy and a blonde woman in India.
Yeah.
And she's like, "What the fuck were you doing?" And he's like,
fighting a death cult, and my mind was taken over, and I freed a bunch of kids.
as you'd remember, Gary, one of the strangest and quickest Dan Aykroyd cameos ever.
Yes, I remember.
He's a very British man, and he's organizing a plane for them, but then he's gone forever. And it's like, okay. Very strange. He must have been on set that day, just being like, yeah, I'll do a role. Fuck it.
Yeah, they just wanted to get him in a cameo. Those were good. That was like, ooh, such a sweet spot for movies, those early 80s films. I watched The Sword and the Sorcerer on Saturday. Love that movie. It's so low budget. Lee Horsley. It's freaking awesome. Good movie. Hey, what should we talk about first? Let's talk about Comic-Con.
Don't leave it open. Chat's like, Doctor Who, Doctor Who, Doctor Who.
Oh, that's...
No, they're going to be like, Gollum, Gollum, Gollum.
Yeah, Gollum.
Well, I honestly can't tell what a good game is in a bag. I had more fun playing Witcher 3. That's a more enjoyable experience. Gollum was pretty boring no matter how bad I was at it. Like, it's just climbing and chasing a fucking bird. Like, that's all I did was chase a fucking bird. Like, I couldn't even get, like, people are like, oh, they really take, liberties with the lore. I'm like, I don't remember Gollum chasing a fucking bird for an hour or 2 hours that I did.
But in all fairness, Gary,
it
took you 2 hours to get to that point.
Okay. Yes.
Others, not so much.
Me and Az aced that level, okay? We were Gollum pros.
Are we still in the introduction for Gary?
Yes, I am in the tutorial, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yes. And I never got out.
And I never got out. And like right when I was making progress, I accidentally restarted the game.
Yes.
I lost my checkpoint.
So close to complete the tutorial.
I was so pissed. It was like, is there no way to go back? Is there no way?
No.
It was so nice. Gary had to do it twice.
This game is great. It's one of those games that when you fuck up, it punishes you for it being shit.
Let's take a look at the Comic-Con schedule. I'm going to send you the link. I posted it last night. There were some additions. I think we have more LGBTQ trans representation in comics panels, thank God. But something is pretty empty. Let's see if it's
comics that don't sell. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, nope, still empty. Here we go. So I'm going to put this link in the private chat. Booyah. Remember when Ray Fisher got mad because Joss Whedon wanted him to say booyah?
As someone who's so unfamiliar with the comics, I heard that out of context, and I was like, that's a little odd, I guess. Is he so adamant for him to say booyah? That the first thing I read about it was like, oh, that's Cyborg's, like, that's his thing. He says that all the time. Oh, yep. Well, that's probably
just say the fucking line! I don't find it in character with my incredibly damaged cyborg in this film.
Is that what he said? I thought he just said it was racist.
He did. Yeah. Ray Fisher sounds like he is a total pain in the ass to work with, and he better hope Zack Snyder just hires him for the rest of his life.
Is he in Rebel Moon?
Yep.
He is, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Is he?
You guys excited for Rebel Moon?
No, not in the slightest. Are you?
What?
Oh, thank God. It's going to be 2 parts.
What, Rebel Moon?
Yes. We're only getting part 1.
That's all Snyder's doing.
He's doing Rebel Moon part 1 and 2. No, he's starting a whole this was his turned down Star Wars movie, so it's a rated R Star Wars. It even has lightsabers in it.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
It does.
Zack Snyder's Star Wars. Sure.
It has Darth Vader in
it. Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be edgy as fuck.
His name is Darth Gator.
I'm gonna say fuck.
Oh, yeah, that worked out so well for Star Trek, didn't it? Which we'll talk about in a little bit.
Again, I saw The Flash again yesterday because my mate, I haven't seen my mate in 6 months.
And
we went to the cinema. He thought it was okay.
Yep.
But again, that final line, well, that's not final line, but when the Bruce Wayne gets out of the car at the end and everyone just goes, "Who the fuck are you?" It's just I laughed again.
There was
So
a
did
couple
he.
times I laughed. I did laugh in the movie, but there was also a couple times I laughed at the movie. So
Oh, yeah.
Remember when
More than a
when
couple
Ezra
times.
Miller Flash, whichever one of them, puts his leg on Batman, and then Batman just stares at him, and then he takes it down. It was that combined with once Batman repels up or things up the thing, and then just tosses him to the floor.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
that was pretty funny.
yeah,
Yeah, my mate laughed when he
Dude,
tried to
it's
put his
not
leg
like-
up on Batman.
it's as I said in my review, I would, if I was forced to watch something over again, I would watch Flash over anything fucking Marvel Phase 4 outside of No Way Home. Anything. Like, without a
yes.
doubt. Just to
Easy.
watch the
Yeah,
Michael Keaton and Batman scenes. That's what I watch.
You still have to go through that first half though.
But think about it.
know.
Think about it. The Days of Future Past, X-Men, Days of Future Past had a better speedster scene in 2014 than the modern Flash movie.
It was weird, dude. I saw this viral post about how speedster scenes are now evolving into everything else goes hyper slow, which is like a de-evolution of what we should be doing, which is like they go really fast and they compare it to Incredibles and some other movie. I can't remember. But if you remember now, Quicksilver in X-Men in like Age of Ultron and stuff, a lot of their speed is represented by everything else slowing down. For me, I like both. I like it when everything goes really fast, but I also like it when things slow down.
I think you can definitely mix them both in, and Incredibles still does it the best. It does everything. It's the best Fantastic Four movie. One of the best superhero movies, period. But, things end. Things just do. And there's been a lot of conversation about superhero fatigue. I've got an entire video coming out about it, probably today, after this live stream. Hint.
You're going to talk about whether it's real?
It's real.
Oh, I know it's real.
It's fucking real. It is real. And the argument of the good bit, I talk about it. But yes, good movies will still be watched by people.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean that that this trend is going to continue. Okay, there's still occasionally a good Western. There's still occasionally, to some people, I hate musicals, but there's still a good musical occasionally. But they're not the driving force. That means fatigue. That means fatigue.
Like if a really successful Western comes out now, it's not like someone says, see, they never went away.
Right?
Like,
Exactly.
well, they did, but like,
they really did. Which is too bad because I fucking loved them. So one of the biggest points of this is Comic-Con. I mean, there's other factors which I get in the video, but the one I didn't get into in the video that we can talk about here, hit the cutting room floor. I couldn't make it 25 minutes long. I was going to kill poor Garrett. Was this. This is Comic-Con's schedule. Now, to be fair, they schedule stuff pretty close to the vest, you won't get a complete schedule until about a week and a half, 2 weeks before the con. But there's always we're less than a month out. And there would be some movies here. There would be more than one TV show. Let's scroll down slowly. Let's start out with Thursday. No movies. One TV show. Ghosts. Let's scroll down. Okay, and then we got some dumb comic book stuff. You know what would be exciting? If Chris Gore had an Attack of the Dock panel. And they didn't shove him off to like fucking Thursday at the Marriott. There's a lot more open space. So Comic-Con, your boy Chris Gore has been going there for years. Give him an Attack of the Dock panel, okay?
It's so good.
Scroll. It's such a great doc. It really is. Fucking show it there. Show it there. That would be amazing. Friday, big day. Thursday, okay, you're thinking, it's not that big of a day. Friday's a pretty big day. Nothing. The only thing I am even remotely interested in is on Friday, and it's in the TV. It's the Continental. That's the only thing that sounds somewhat cool to me. Okay, now
that's the John Wick TV show, right?
Scroll down to Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah, that is the John Wick TV show. Look at this. No movies.
That's the one with Rebecca Darmis.
But television, thank God, Critical Role's going to be there.
Woohoo.
I'm
Critical
so
woke.
excited. Ballroom 20 is pretty big. Room 6A, decent size. They're not Hall H. And Heels.
It's going to take him 15 minutes to go through the fucking pronouns.
After their land acknowledgement. They'll have to do the land acknowledgement first, then their pronouns, and then the panel will be over.
And then they're gonna say black people are orcs and interracial relationships are bad.
You know what?
Dungeons and Dragons.
Listen,
now, isn't it?
that D&D, it needs to be niche. It's like I knew once the hipsters in Hollywood got a hold of it, it would just go to crap. Okay, so Saturday, no movies. This is your biggest day. This is your biggest day in Hall H, and there's nothing, absolutely nothing announced. Oof. Sunday. No movies, no TV, nothing. Even Mark MauLer responded to my tweet last night. I'll just read it off with a very good response. Very good. Hail Mark MauLer. He's a great writer. Love what he's doing. Can't wait to get him on the show. There you go. Yeah. So, I just showed the schedule's empty. I've become obsessed with this the past couple of days, though. I really think we allowed our biz to be consumed by another industry at these shows. Absolutely correct. Clapping the talent up to our old green room, and very few of the new mainstream fans actually buying comics. It never translated into buying comics. He's 100% right. I told him he wasn't wrong. And also, Mark MauLer has a foot in both worlds. He makes stuff for streaming, but he still is a comic writer first. And he's even said that. He's like, listen, I've got my feet in both worlds, but I'm a comic writer first. The Chuck Dixons of the world who just love writing comic books, the John Burns of the world who just love comic books. They were driven out of the industry, and a lot of people who maybe would have stayed were lured out by the temptation of, in the early days, a movie. I was on Artist Alley. I was right next to the Boondocks guy when he got his TV offer, right? So, and it was big money to people. I don't know what he got, but I know that there were agents from Hollywood in the early 2000s rolling around Artist Alley and offering up $5,000-$10,000 for your property. And that's, to an artist, that's a lot of money, but you're giving your stuff away forever to a studio that may do nothing with it. So, I mean, is it worth $5,000, $10,000? Not really. But it's they a lot of people took it and they lost their shit. So the movies became the temptation, and then streaming came in and became the temptation, and then everything started being written as streaming scripts that were put into comic books. I mean, entire publishers came out to like Black Mask and stuff was there to do it, and it just killed the industry because God, there was a great tweet. I'm going to try to paraphrase it. Comic book journalists are people who desperately want to work in an industry or work in an industry where people desperately don't want to work in that industry.
Yeah.
It's really, that was on point. It was really on point. And that's what comics has become. It's a bunch of people with one foot out the door all the time. And it degraded. Retailers didn't help either. Diamond's, monopoly, but that monopoly had a lot to do with nobody wanting to compete with them. So it's kind of an accidental monopoly, but it was still a monopoly. And it degraded the industry to what it is now, which is graphic novels are 79%. The ones that are sold are manga. And the American comic book graphic novels is like 6%. And that's in the United States. And Hollywood never respected the source material. They abandoned the source material. The publishers didn't really respect it. They respected Hollywood more. Then they stopped respecting the customers. And now we're at an empty Comic-Con.
Oh, wow.
And there's reasons for it. It's the WGA strike. Apparently, SAG might, the Film Actors Guild, might come might have a deal in place. It looks like, but that doesn't matter because if you can't write anything, you can't act in anything, but they might be able to show up. There might be some last minute stuff, but they can't really promote stuff, or the showrunners can't promote stuff. We'll have to see.
In all fairness, I mean, for all of this that you're talking about, we can't deny that comics didn't help themselves in any capacity here.
No, they didn't. They absolutely didn't. The con didn't. I mean, the con is non-profit, but other cons didn't help either, and it just became Starfests. Right?
No, but sorry. What I mean is, the industry didn't help itself to adapt to these uber popular films. So you would have these
No.
super popular films.
No,
and then
they didn't.
They were now doing all new old Marvel, changing everything.
Well,
unrecognizable.
The publisher's attitude, and you're right. The publisher's attitude was the movie should do stuff for us. We're the source material. It's like, no, that's not how it fucking works. The publishers, you need to work together, but maybe, I don't know, have Captain America be alive in a Captain America comic book when the Captain America movie comes out. That might be a good
idea. Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Maybe have a continuity of the movies that go outside of the movies, even if it's mini series or maxi series.
The only time
or trade paperbacks.
The only time it worked for mainstream comic books relating to sales during my tenure was Iron Man 1. Iron Man 1 relaunched right when Iron Man the movie came out, and they weren't like one-for-one adaptations at all, but Tony Stark looked like Tony Stark. Tony Stark looked like Tony Stark. Iron Man looked like Iron Man. Iron Man looked like Iron Man. And they had an interesting story that was a complement to what was going on in the movie. Not directly, it was just a good story. And yes, they sold, like Iron Man turned, it went from, in my store, being subscribed to by about 10 or 12 people to 100 within a month. So this is a subscriber boost of 10 times. That's fucking amazing. But it never happened again. But you know what movies did directly relate to comic book sales? Sin City. It was like printing money. And Sin City wasn't like...
The Spirit? How'd that go?
No, not well.
No.
I bet Invincible did a bit for shifting some Invincible.
I'm sure I wasn't selling, but I'm sure it did because it was accurate. Watchmen boosted sales that were already pretty good anyway. To be honest with you, Watchmen never had a problem selling, but it boosted. But that Sin City was like printing money. It was crazy because it looked so much like the comic book.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty easy formula, but Hollywood got away from that. And now, Marvel, who this was the place that was supposed to get it right. And they're getting it as wrong as a studio in the 90s adapting as the 80s Punisher, which is probably more accurate than anything Marvel is doing right now.
Punisher, who's he?
Oh yeah, they stopped him, right?
He?
They retired him.
So like
that by the way, Marvel retiring, and that is the correct word that they've used. Marvel retiring the Punisher shows exactly is an absolute epitome of how the industry puts the creators and their politics put themselves ahead of their characters and their stories. It's an absolute epitome of that. It shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter if the character's an anti-hero. That shouldn't matter. But because they're so fucking up their own ass with banned guns and shooting people in cold blood and retribution and all this sort of stuff, they're so fucked in the head about that. This is what you get. You get the absolute disillusionment of the Punisher character. So yeah. Marvel, it's all, I keep saying this, but it's so true. It's all self-inflicted gunshot wounds.
Yep.
All of this.
Oh, yeah.
They're just doing this, and it's not to the foot, not shooting themselves in the foot. They're putting a loaded gun to their head and they're blowing the fucking brains out and going, why am I dead? Why is the industry dead?
Chuck Dixon said
especially strange when they confirmed. Didn't they confirm Bernthal's back at some point with
in the Daredevil show?
In the Daredevil show that
they're
has
keeping him alive
production.
in live action, but they're killing him in the source. It's like, okay.
Well, maybe they're gonna kill him in the show.
Maybe.
Have you ever thought of that? Wouldn't surprise me.
No, I wouldn't put it past
Wouldn't surprise me.
I mean, like, sell the Punisher.
Well, no,
if you guys can't handle it,
you're
give it to
missing the
someone
point,
else.
Gary. You're missing the point. They don't want to get rid of the Punisher to give.
No,
to
they want
someone
to. They
else.
want to bury it. I didn't miss the
Bury
point.
the character. Yeah. But you knew that.
But that shows. I mean, that is. I would say that's Exhibit A. If Chris ever wants to do a trial on Marvel and pop culture altogether, that is Exhibit A of agenda prioritizing over being prioritized over profits, because the Punisher can make money
they'd
forever.
never be able to make an argument that no one likes Punisher anymore.
Yeah. Now, will they stop making Punisher T-shirts with the Punisher skull on it?
Well, I saw there was a
because that makes more money than any of the comics.
Well, I know a manufacturer that does the Punisher symbol on their clothing, and they've announced that they are stopping the line.
So maybe, yeah. So that's
So
prioritizing.
maybe they have to license the.
That's prioritizing a political agenda over profits, because Marvel wants to believe that the Punisher symbol has been adopted by the right, which everyone progressive calls the far right. There's no just right. It's just all. It's all far right.
Nazis.
Yeah.
Nazis. Because
National.
anything right of the extreme far left are Nazis. Now.
National Socialists.
National Socialists, as you kept saying in your video.
Socialists. Yeah, I did that on purpose. I bet you could tell. Thanks for watching, buddy.
But by the way, I went to that shop and I bought a fucking truckload of T-shirts, hoodies, baseball caps, all kinds of merch that had it on. And so that's now getting shipped. Oh, yay.
Oh, yeah, I got to find some good triggering shirts to wear at Comic-Con. So a Punisher symbol, my ISOM shirts.
Make Marvel mail.
Make Marvel
Make
mail
Marvel
again.
mail
Oh,
again.
make Marvel mail again. I'll walk around Comic-Con with that shirt on. Let's do it.
If I eventually get my ass to America and meet up with Chris Gore and we're gonna go around to one of these conventions or whatever, I'm gonna go around with him wearing that tee.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, when you eventually get around, we're getting a motorhome. We're going to take you places, man. So, Nolan, look at that.
Oh, that's cool.
I haven't got mine yet.
I can't see. Oh, yeah, I see it now. Here, let me make that bigger.
That's what she said.
That looks awesome. Nolan's the man. So, with, I mean, superhero fatigue is not causing directly Marvel and go back to the article, go back to that link and go scroll all the way down and it shows canceled studios. So we got to put that in.
He said Az needs to shoot some guns.
But yes, Az needs to shoot some guns from the Y.
Yeah.
We could both go to the same place. So not attending Lionsgate, Lucasfilm. No, real guns, not your little Nerf gun there. Marvel Studios, Netflix, Sony, Universal Studios. Warner Brothers is firmly at a wait and see. They've got no fucking money, but like, dude, James Gunn would have this place to himself to announce his new Superman. So
nobody cares.
I don't think anybody will, to be honest with you. Here's what will happen. People will go crazy at Comic-Con. You got the home team there. People will go nuts at Comic-Con, just like they were going nuts for The Flash. Dude, I was at a fan screening in San Antonio. It was packed. People were cheering for that movie. And I'm like, wow, maybe I'm wrong on this one. Whatever. I didn't like it.
Are we getting the announcement of Clark and Lois this week?
Why would they do it this week? Why?
They've got 3 different pairs. They've got 3 different Clarks and Loises that the screen test.
Well, if they announce it before Comic-Con, then they're not going to be at Comic-Con. I think that pretty much answers the question.
Would that surprise you? It wouldn't surprise me.
No, not at all. Not at all. But the studio's pulling out, and like they could have come up with something. Like I don't understand like why you can't have a producer go out and announce shit. I just don't buy that. So I think part of it is they don't have the money, they don't have the desire, they don't have enough stuff to come out because it's all going to get delayed. Remember, like I think Thunderbolts and Deadpool are still on the docket for next year. Here's the problem: Thunderbolts ceased production, and Deadpool just started filming, and they want it to come out in May of next year. That's in less than a year. Here's the other problem.
Thunderbolts full stop.
I think.
Oh, Perry,
they don't
if you're
want to
listening,
grind to a halt, though, do they? They don't want Marvel to stop.
Well, it might have to, because here's the problem with Deadpool. And Perry, here's the other article I was talking to you about. You guys don't know what this is about my video. There's a Collider article that talks about, it's from May 24th. Ryan Reynolds cannot improvise on the set of Deadpool 3, and all of his best lines came from improvisation because of the writer's strike. Improvisation is considered writing. So they are filming, and Ryan Reynolds can't improvise at all. It's against the rules. And there's going to be
any kind of loophole on that? Like, oh shit, I accidentally said that. I didn't improvise.
There's going to be.
Can they do some loophole shit?
They can try, and I'm sure they will try that shit. But there will be WGA Hawks on the set, like absolutely. and there'll be Teamsters who will squeal. And and somebody put up a great tweet of like, wow, what could possibly go wrong with Wolverine meeting Deadpool during a writer's strike? And then they showed the image of Wolverine Origins. Which
they need a writer's strike joke in there. They need a scene where they just start talking and stop. And it's just like, what's going on? It's just like, I can't say anymore. The writer's gone on strike.
That's improvising.
The script has been written, and so they're allowed to use whatever's on those
written
pages.
script. You cannot embellish at all.
Can they claim?
Of course they can. Of course they are, and of course they can. And there's tons of loopholes, and they're using them. But the problem is,
you just do it and be called a scab.
You'll be called a scab.
I was about to say, there's nothing. Does anything law related happen if they do it? If they improv?
If they improv,
will Ryan Reynolds just be seen as an asshole?
I think they can get fined.
Right.
And also the power of the unions. There's a lot of damage they can do. And being labeled a scab is kind of, well, I mean, it's not quite as bad as being labeled a snitch in prison. I mean, I doubt you're going to get shanked for being a scab, but you could. If you were a Teamster back in the day, you could. Hell yeah.
Wow. Because
hold on, 2 secs, knock at the door.
Go.
Because of course, good old X-Men Origins Wolverine. I mean, it would have been cool to have known you when that came out, Gary. Talking about Deadpool getting his mouth sewn shut. That was possibly one of the most bizarre decisions anyone could ever have made ever about anything.
Benioff. That's our boy Benioff from Game of Thrones who did that. It was during, I think it was because of during the writer's strike. They tried to blame a lot of shit. Tom Rothman was involved in that too, who's running Sony right now. I'm sure everybody's excited about that Craven film. Yeah, that movie fucking sucks.
I almost feel like it's like pre-flops.
It is. Well, that's when that movie came out, people were talking about superhero fatigue back then, right?
Mm. Yeah, no, dude. I think if you go and watch the Thor 2 review from Red Letter Media, you'll find I'm talking about superhero fatigue setting in.
Mm-hmm.
I can't confirm that for sure. That's always been my memory, but I know that they've been talking about it for a long time. Phase 2 was probably the main time everyone was like, okay, come on now. We've had our big Avengers, calm down. And it's like, so I think everyone looks at that and it's like, see, so it's not, there is no fatigue. It's not happening. It's like, well, I mean, it'll happen eventually, but where will it be? And it's like,
fatigue is when there's
with all these flops. Surely this makes sense.
Yeah. You don't want to get too, like, I guess, autistic about it. When fatigue happens, we still get good movies, but it's in the most simplest terms. It's when we get way more bad than good. And it's not just superheroes. It's blockbusters. It's Hollywood. It's everything right now.
Well, and out of everything that's flopped so far, are there any of them what we would call even okay?
The flops that
consider them all bad.
I would argue there's more successes that were complete shit. But out of
I'm just saying, like,
flops.
Quantumania, we all thought was shit, of course. Fear of the Gods, I don't even know if you two saw it, but it was.
Well,
it was
I mean,
awful.
The Suicide Squad was a flop, a massive flop.
Yeah, and I'd happy to say that was good. So yeah, okay, that kind of illustrates the point a bit better. But being a good movie won't be enough.
But superhero fatigue will be. I mean, like some stuff just flies under the radar, like Dredd. Dredd is universally loved, is considered one of the greatest adaptations of all time, and it did shit in the movie theater. Couldn't get a sequel, couldn't get a TV series made, couldn't get anything made. But amongst fans, it is highly respected. It's one of my favorites. It's going to be, we talked about this, MauLer. It's going to be when Superman Legacy comes out and it's an 8 out of 10. Everybody walks out of it, critics, fans, and we're going, solid movie. Fucking solid movie. And it does 600 million worldwide.
Cool.
That's fatigue.
And that's the thing. There'll be people out there who'll be like, that's good. And you'll be like, no.
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 I'm surprised that the Batman did 750.
Yeah, I would have thought it would do more than that.
Yeah.
And there's a feeling on the air that the second one ain't going to do that good.
I could see the second one doing 600.
600.
It's like, are they really going to go for another one after that?
It's a lame duck.
I thought the Flash would do 700. So.
Hey,
less than half of that at this point.
Guardians 3 is at 831. It's approaching doing almost as good as Guardians 2, not adjusted for inflation, because if you adjust for inflation, Guardians 2 did way better. but the problem is it comes out in digital in about 10 days. You can rent it digitally, and then in August, it'll be on Blu-ray and everything else.
That's done insanely well.
But it's done
because that opening weekend was terrible.
It was terrible, but it had great legs, and that's word of mouth. Word of mouth is still the best marketing of all time.
Because the biggest weakness the Marvel franchise has had is no legs. Like that's been their consistent element. So the Guardians film managed to get past that. The Flash fucking didn't. Not that it's Marvel, but you know what I mean.
I mean, the Flash is like. I mean, it's got no leg. I mean, there's zilch legs there.
Dude, it had an 81%
after a week.
81% Friday to Friday drop.
Friday to Friday.
That is unfucking believable.
Yeah, because I thought what we would be saying, I thought what would be reported is like, oh, the drop is not bad, and it's like, well, it's but I mean, the initial ratings weren't that good, so a not so bad drop is expected. But no, the drop was terrible anyway. It's like, oh shit.
No, the #1 movie of the weekend was was Miles Morales 2. And everybody's calling it a big victory. But as Steve Dace pointed out, I put this in my video, I'm spoiling it. That's horrible. We are in the middle of summer blockbuster season, and a movie that's been out for 3 weeks is #1 at under 20 million. That's bad. That is fucking terrible. Now,
the Flash should be ruling. This is the film that, particularly for DC, should be ruling.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton, Batman. Ben Affleck, Batman. Flash.
If Mission Impossible like murders at the cinema sort of thing, then that'll just be extra proof that it looks fatigue. How else can you explain it at that point?
I think it's going to do well.
I think it's going to do over $1 billion, but then I've heard that it's not tracking particularly great right now.
I guess it would be fair to say it won't do as well as Maverick, perhaps. But I mean,
I can see it doing $1 billion though. I can see.
I think so too.
I can see it doing $1 billion.
Film, the word of mouth plus Tom Cruise plus an action film, and they seem to be in right now.
Well, it's got tons of goodwill. Like it's got amazing goodwill. Like they're going out there making these fun videos and the stunts, and they're like, we just love doing this stuff. It's like, and it's like they're doing this cutting edge, rocket sciencey stuff of let's just talk about our movie and have fun.
But isn't it? But there's a cleverness behind this marketing, right?
Oh yeah, they know exactly what they're doing.
It's not just we're having fun, right? They are showing you a full-on, practical, really dangerous stunt.
Okay, they're also completely aware of what the marketing has been in Hollywood. They're very fucking smart. They know exactly what they're doing, and they're going the complete opposite with it, and it's working. Duh.
Yes. Do you guys think that we'll have a thank you from Tom Cruise at the beginning of the film?
Absolutely.
100%. Probably.
Because I actually think that goes a decent way. People talk about it.
Yeah.
But it's nice. It's nice. We've been called fucking white supremes, Yahtzees, misogynists, all this kind of stuff for people putting out terrible films. Yeah, when somebody puts out a good film, what did I say before Top Gun Maverick came out? I said, it's the sequel no one wanted. It's 35 years in the making. Who's going to go and watch this movie? And then I go and see it. And I'm like, fucking hell, this was a great film.
Yep.
And it goes 1.4 billion at the box office.
Jeremy was saying that before Cobra Kai. And I thought the concept sounded pretty cool because it was based on that YouTube video. But still, I was like, is this going to, it's on YouTube TV and it's like, oh shit, that was pretty fun. I liked it. Good stuff. You know?
I mean, I don't know about you guys. Do you remember when they were teasing the Joker movie, Joaquin Phoenix Joker?
Me and Az were both like, nope, don't need it.
Nope. Yep. We don't need to see the origin of the Joker. We don't need that. The whole point of the Joker is you don't know where he's coming. We were doing all of it.
All of it.
This
is so unnecessary.
I thought it was a weird as fuck idea. I didn't think it'd be successful either.
It did a fraction less than the Rise of Skywalker. And it didn't even come out in China. It did like 70,000 less than the Rise of Skywalker.
No, and honestly, in 2024, the superhero slate, it's the only movie I'm slightly interested in. And it, let's be real, Joker 2 could be a fabulous disaster. It could be
good.
Or it could be really quirky and cool, It's got Lady Gaga, So we'll see. Hey, Lady Gaga can act, okay?
She can.
Yes. She can act.
And she can sing.
Star is Born is a
Yep.
damn good movie, and I went into like my wife's like, we're gonna go see this. I'm like, do I have to? I don't want to. Yeah.
And look, you. I mean, Margot Robbie, gorgeous woman, absolutely beautiful woman. No qualms about her there. I don't know what she's like as a person outside of all that, by the by. But as Harley Quinn, annoying as fuck. Doesn't work for me as Harley Quinn in the
I
slightest.
agree.
This could be such a sort of polar opposite of Harley Quinn that we kind of fall in love with this version of Harley Quinn.
Could be.
Could
I mean,
be.
but it could be.
Could be in 3 or 4 years from now.
Todd-
We're like, remember when we thought Joker 2 could be good and it was horrible? That could
Well,
be a thing. You
I'm
never
sort
know.
of erring more on the side. I think the film's probably going to be horrible than good.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to give
Now.
it a bit of benefit of the doubt just because of how surprised I was with the first one. That's
Yeah,
all.
that's what I'm at, but I just don't think it needed a sequel. But I think Todd
No.
Phillips is actually a really good filmmaker and probably I think up and coming kind of Artur. So
I wonder about whether or not
who's
it
been
was
working
like
for 30 years.
the sequel's getting made, whether or not you're involved, so make your choice, sort of thing.
Well, I could,
And-
I
and
could,
you know
I
a
mean,
lot of
I could see
artists
that. I
Can
mean,
see
you
themselves
how
being like, "Fuck you, go ruin it yourselves," or "Oh, fine, I don't want you to ruin it."
none of us wanted a sequel, but I think all of us were in absolute agreement when we saw that near 1.1 billion. We were like, it's impossible for them not to make a sequel.
Yeah, they had to.
Dude, I saw that movie in such a like perfect setting too. It was at New York Comic Con, so I got to see it in New York at an Alamo Draft House. Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers and I went. We had to walk through a fucking metal detector because the fucking media had built up that's like incel violence is gonna happen because of this movie. And and then I was fucking blown away when we all of us walked out of it like, holy shit, that was good.
But that score,
That's
was
so
it,
good,
she was
yeah.
Icelandic or something. The composer, that score was insane.
It really good.
It just nailed the film. It absolutely nailed the film, and that won an Oscar, didn't it? That she won the Oscar.
Remember,
I'm gonna give it a shot, guys. I think her name is Hilda Gunadata.
that's
I think
it.
That's how you
Sure.
pronounce it.
Okay.
It's better than I would
Probably
do.
wrong though.
Remember the scene where the giant rat like runs around the corner? It's like it's like one time they used CG in the Joker film. This giant rat runs around the. I mean, he's fucking like as big as a dog. I'm like, God, that rat's ridiculous. And we're walking in Times Square, dude, and I saw a rat the size of a fucking small dog. I'm like, holy shit! Maybe that was real. I don't know.
Oh.
Well,
God,
Gotham is New York, isn't it? After all.
it is. And I've got friends who live there. It's a fucking cesspool, and that was before COVID, so it's worse now. Get out of the city. Get out
But
while you
everything
still
about
can.
that film worked. The time
did.
period, the aesthetic, the music, the cinematography, everything about it just was nailed.
When you almost don't want the meta to touch it because people are like put Joaquin Phoenix Joker against Robert Pattinson Batman.
No.
You're like, why?
Well, for one, he'd have to be a little bit older. When does the Batman take place? Did we ever?
It's meant to be ambiguous.
But there's
I think
cell
it's
phones in
ambiguous,
it,
yeah.
right?
Sure.
Okay.
I think you'd be able to guess a timeline, yeah, from the tech.
But you could do all cut. I mean, I don't think anyone would bat an eyelid, to be honest with you, if they went Joaquin. I'm not saying do it, but I'm just saying if they announce the Batman 2 and it's going to have Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker in it, I don't think anyone would bat an eyelid. I want to see a good Mr. Freeze. That's what I want to see.
Apparently, people did figure out from there's a document in the film at some point that labels a time frame, so it's 2019. That film's
2019. Okay, that was modern
right,
times. Yeah, because I remember hearing that it was supposed to take place in the 90s or something like that.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it
I
never
heard that
happened.
initially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was just a rumor. So
I did love the suit. I thought the suit was superb. Apart from, I just wanted ears on the bat. Apart from that, I thought the suit was superb.
the suit was all right. I wasn't big on it at first, but it was all right. It was fine. I just thought that third act was total shit.
Oh, it was appalling.
Such a good build up to like
Yeah.
a fucking terrible third act.
Mm.
But that
opening though, man.
that
Cool.
opening was awesome. It was that's the best opening of a Batman movie ever, dude.
I love the idea
Yeah.
that bad guys look at a dark alley and they're just scared.
Yep.
Dude, that's all from the comics.
Yep.
All of that. All of it is from the comics.
Absolutely.
There are parts in the comics where Gordon's on the roof and he's got the bat symbol on, and Montoya would come out and she'd be like, what are you doing? And he would, and they even used that in the Dark Knight as well.
It's a pity they never.
And he would just be like, you know, we keep it on just to put the fear of God into criminal. That's it.
So
We know we
it's a
can't
pity
be everywhere.
so much. This is what I was trying to say. I can't remember if it was the last real BBC or others, but how much they've skipped. I don't even know. Obviously, you guys do, or at least have a better idea. But how much of the great stories of all these different heroes we've skipped over in both the MCU and I was about to say both DCEUs or whatever the fuck they are. All of it, you know.
Well, I can't believe that there hasn't
sometimes.
been a live action adaptation of Killing Joke. You know, for all our friends Graham and Chuck don't like that. It is one of the most seminal pieces of Batman work.
Well, they did an animated one. Oh,
Well, they did it in the video. They did a scene in the video game where they showed that scene.
they did an animated version of it, which was really.
But
bad.
yeah, but I mean,
that was terrible.
live action though. We haven't had a live action Nightfall, a proper
People
live
didn't
action
even-
Nightfall.
Well, I mean, we haven't had a proper Batman. We haven't had
a very good point.
There's been some good Batman movies,
Yeah.
but with like little pieces of the Batman from the comics, but nothing with all of the Batman from the comics. Nothing even close.
No.
So, you know.
But I tell you this, and I say this absolutely as somebody who's been fucking reading Batman for 30 fucking years plus now. The closest is Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck, yes. As
I'm
far as
telling you that
Bruce
right
Wayne,
now.
being Bruce Wayne, the costume, the attitude, I mean,
Not the killing though.
not
right?
the killing,
Not the killing, though, no.
not the killing, but that would be the closest to what Bruce looks like in the comic books. His portrayal consistently over years, I could not agree more. There's a lot of Batman movies I like though. I like more of them than I don't like.
Your favorite being Batman and Robin, right?
Absolutely.
Dude, I am currently watching a video essay on a guy doing the first Batman movie and talking about how bad the first two are. How number 3 didn't stand a chance really of getting off the ground. And how number 4 is the best out the bunch.
Batman and Robin?
What you're saying, putting the Tim Burton and Schumacher ones together, right?
Yes.
As a 4. Yeah, because that is true. They do share continuity. But
Yeah.
so that guy said the first 2 were so bad, the third one barely had a chance.
Well, he described the first one. I'm sort of paraphrasing. Let me be a little bit more fair. He said the first one was about 2 guys thirsting over a woman.
Wow.
He said this. I'll take that, dude. The second one was too dark. Too
What
dark.
everyone
and
fucking says. Get a new opinion.
I know it's such a generic
The
opinion.
first one was a villain story. It was the Joker story.
Yes.
It was.
Well, the second one's kind of the Penguin story.
Well,
It
it's
is.
both. It's Catwoman and the Penguin story.
Yep.
And then he said Batman Forever was this change, you know, sort of like the change of guard, and it didn't have the sort of shine that it deserved. There's a reason he gave, and I forget. And he says, but then there's Batman and Robin, which is easily the best of the lot. And then he talks about why Batman and Robin.
Okay.
I'd
And
like
it's-
to hear why he thinks that's the best one.
I could send you the link to the video, and because
it.
I think it's something that could potentially be Fappa-doo-dooed.
I am on board with that idea.
I will get the.
I gotta be
will
honest,
get
I
the-
kind of love all 4 of them for different reasons. Because even when I saw Forever for the first time as a kid, I remember thinking, like, what the fuck is this? I was like,
Same.
what the hell? Because I had seen 89 and Returns, and I was like, this is the next one? What the hell happened? And, you know, I still, like, took it in, and I was like, okay. And I really like Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey, obviously. So I was just like, this is fun.
Oh yeah, he
that would
says
be
that there's no arc. There's no arc in the first 2 Batman films for Batman.
Oh,
Wow. Okay.
But there's an arc.
Hey, this is the
Best
beauty.
arc is for George Clooney's.
This is the
Batman
beauty
and
of free
Batman.
speech.
What's the arc in Batman and Robin? Like, what genuinely? What? Because I'm thinking like, well, isn't the whole story that like Alfred is getting ill with the same disease that Arnie's
McGregor
wife got?
syndrome.
Right.
It's
He's like
how
stage 1,
gay
she was
we
stage
can make
4.
Batman. That's the arc of Batman and Robin. Okay, ass shots,
They have
more
the,
neon.
They have the Why Do We Fall in there, I think, as well. But I don't think he goes on like an arc. I don't remember that. By the way, I'm someone who says you don't have to have an arc for a character. That's not like necessary, but I don't know what he's referencing, I guess.
Yeah, no.
I'll put the link in the private chat for you.
Okay,
Thank
so there were superhero fatigue, Comic-Con fatigue. Personally, I am happy that Hollywood's not going to be there. I was chatting with Chris Gore, who might be in the chat. What's up, Chris? And we're like, cool, no Hollywood. Right on. Let's go run around and buy some comics and do some comic book shit. Because I remember when there was like one thing. I heard somebody saying that like Lord of the Rings started this. They're like, it wasn't Twilight that ruined Comic-Con. It was Lord of the Rings. Wrong.
What the fuck is Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings showed up last minute. I was there. It was like the fucking Beatles showing up, by the way. And all the hobbits were they weren't in the hall. They were put outside on the side to sign autographs. And it was just a last minute thing. And like you saw the entire con move. It was fucking cool. But that wasn't it. No, it was Twilight. It was fucking Twilight. And it was a combination of things. There, Twilight and Hollywood was starting to encroach in. And that means they were getting a lot of comps, which means they were taking a lot of tickets from regular people. And then the fire marshal came in and said, we're capping this thing. Because they didn't cap it. So they were just selling infinite. That's why you could go walk up and buy tickets. But then they said, well, this is dangerous. So there was a combination of things. So that's what created all the lines, all the sellouts. But yeah, Twilight definitely changed Comic-Con. It was palpable. I was there that year. And that people on the floor were going, wow, things are really different. Things are really different.
The meme where it's got, I don't know the names, Robert Pattinson and the woman sat
Kristen
next to
Stewart?
Yeah, Christian Stewart, and they're sat in a wood, and then like there's like trees around them, just like sat in a wood talking, and then behind one of the trees there's like Blade poking out.
I know. Or Buffy.
Oh, that meme.
You ever seen the Buffy one? Yeah, I like the Buffy one. I do. So
It's just like, it's so fucking good.
Twilight and Hollywood ruined Comic-Con around the time it came out, 2007, 8, can't remember. But yeah, that's when, I mean, there were lines for Hall H, but the lines got ridiculous, and that's when people really started camping out. That's when people started dying. You know, they had to close off Harbor Boulevard. There's a road called Harbor Boulevard that goes right in front of the con,
Yeah.
and people were getting hit by cars, so they had to stop. They had to close it. So they closed, but they used to not close down San Diego downtown. There'd be a couple things outside, and yeah, there would still be, you know, over 100,000 people in there, possibly more. Now, like 1 million people descend down to it, and maybe it'll be just a little less because there's a little less Hollywood, which completely took over what was a popular arts convention, a comic book convention, which is the only. I stopped going to Hall H a long time ago. I think the last thing I saw in there was the premiere of Supergirl.
Well,
which sucked.
I think it might have been Mark Millar I saw on Twitter saying, "I ain't problem with this. It'd be nice, you know. It wouldn't be a bad thing for it to return back to."
It wouldn't. It needs to go back to a niche. The problem is.
But then I thought to myself, "But look what you've done to the industry."
Yeah, like look what it's done to comic books.
Yeah.
You know, when Disney bought Marvel, the first thing in my head was like, oh, we'll get some good movies, and it will kill the comic books. Here we are. Here we are. Hey, the Marvels. There's a leak of
getting leaky over there in
getting
Marvel.
leaky. We'll get to that in just a moment. Let's read a couple super chats first.
Leaky.
Grand Darkfang for $20 says, reminder that by the logic of Doctor Strange 2, the longer America Chavez stays in our universe, the more likely it is to be destroyed by an incursion. Thanks, Waldron. Yep.
Yes.
And by the way, for any universe out there that wants to connect itself to the MCU, you've got that problem to deal with. Not naming any names there, Miles. But if you want to get anywhere near that stupid universe, then that's what you have to deal with.
None of this makes sense, though.
No.
Loki made none of this make sense at all.
I think it didn't make any fucking sense anyway.
No,
it's all ogre now.
Dude, the Infinity Stones being paperweights is
That
infuriating.
was one of the biggest mistakes they could ever make.
Yep.
Well, that's probably the best example of changing the stakes in the history of storytelling.
It is.
I think they give themselves away. I think it shows without hesitation or doubt whatsoever. They don't care. They don't have any respect for their.
Supposed to be fun.
I'm fucking so sick of meta and irony. I'm so fucking sick of it.
Dude.
I cannot take any more of this whimsical Rick and Morty fucking shit. I'm tired of it. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage. It's a weak shortcut of writing, not taking anything seriously. Let's not take our own, universe seriously
Yes.
that we pay billions of dollars for. Let's be funsy onesie and cutesy wootsy with it. Fuck off. God.
Nothing wrong with having fun. If you make your own product a mockery, then you show that's what you're showing to the audience. You're showing we're mocking our own stuff. Don't care about any of this. And what did we love to? This is the problem with multiverses, because this is why we like continuity, because continuity gives us something to care about. Multiverses makes us don't care about anything.
It makes nothing matter.
The Batman that we invent, there's infinite Batman, infinite Wolverines. It makes it. Nobody cares anymore. The stakes are all gone. Nobody cares. Oh, so what? Val Kilmer's Batman died. You've still got Patterson's Batman. It just nobody cares anymore.
So in an era of oversaturation, we're getting oversaturation within the oversaturation with the multiverses. We just get a movie that is popular right now that's got hundreds of Spider-Men, women, lesbians, non-binaries in it, and very few Peter Parkers, by the way. And then we got another multiverse. We got a bunch of like really shoddy, bad taste cameos in Flash. And we're gonna get more and more and more. This is just the beginning.
It got announced Invincible season 2's got multiverse in it. It's like you need to not join this retarded craze. Get out of there. And then Deadpool 3 is obviously multiverse. We've got many years until we get the Avengers double feature that are both going to be highly tied to multiverse. Multiverse ain't going away anytime fucking soon, and it's really sad because everyone's tired, very tired.
I hate multiverse. I've always hated them.
I found them like cute at best.
Here's
I think that it's overstayed its welcome massively.
Yeah, like when they're done once every 10 years, it can be a fun little side thing, right? Or we were talking about like where do we go next? Well, DC and Marvel crossover, and they've done it in the past, and they were fun, but they'll never do it in the movies. But multiverses were largely done to fix continuity. But then you'd have to rebuild everything afterwards and reground it. And you could do that within comics because like your budgets are hundreds of thousands of dollars. You can't do this with studio films where billions are at play. So you are destroying your universe, and you think you could just go back to a street level fucking which you could, but they don't have the desire to do it. It's always got to be bigger, more, more.
She-Hulk almost pretended to be like, it's a lawyer just trying to do some cases and getting involved in some things here and there. It's like, oh, that's nice and small, right? It's like at the end, it became the biggest one. It literally went and broke the entire fourth wall and went to Kevin Feige and his formula robot. Like, oh.
With meta irony. And it's a bunch of, wine aunts thinking they're being cute. The same kind of people who thought, it'd just be funsy onesie if Nick Fury lost his eye to a kitty cat.
It's so fun.
Remember Nick Fury in The Winter Soldier? And I know you don't like him all, but remember Nick Fury in The Winter Soldier when he's badass in that film. And he said,
fucking badass in that movie.
The last time I trusted somebody, I lost an eye.
And it was a fucking cat.
There was a lot of stretches in the fight, right? But I actually love the broad idea that Fury gets attacked by a shit ton of guys in just his average day in broad daylight, and he survives it because he's fucking smart and he knows what he's doing. And he's confident. And he has all these devices. And then once it's over, goes to Cap's place and starts to try and calmly explain, like, yeah, people are trying to fucking kill me. Instead of like breaking down emotionally, it's like, no, that's not Fury. Fury, jeez.
That's there you go. There you go. Oh, wait till episode 2, y'all. That's what I was waiting for.
Thing. Yeah.
Do I have to?
You don't have to. I'm going to be doing a review. I was waiting for the second episode because it's actually worse.
Well, if you
I told you
people
yesterday.
Who've seen it, I'll be watching all the episodes. So I'll be around.
Good.
I told Gary yesterday off camera. I said I'm going to do one video because I just want to put Secret Invasion and have a cross going through Secret and have stupid.
Wow.
Stupid invasion. Yeah, that's it. That's the other reason I want to do it.
Dude, that's why I get my best ideas in the shower at the gym. But like the woke Hollywood is failing, and that's a good thing. All came from the title. Like came up with the title. I'm like, that's a good title. I'm gonna use that for a video someday. And I found the right article from Chris Gore, by the way. Chris Gore is good, man. All right. Mr. Vangerous, like dangerous,
or Vangeris,
or Vangeris. or Vangelis. $50. It's Hail Ruby's. I almost said Friday Night Tights.
Gollum broke him, y'all.
Hail Real BBC and the chat metal question. Have you seen anything weird with your band release post-Coof? Enjoyed Metallica and Megadeth's recent releases. Disturbed was decent, but A7X's recent album was bad and made me think of Coof broke them. Coof broke a lot of people in metal. I couldn't stand that new Metallica album. I can't stand it. Megadeth is fine. They're fine.
Oh no.
Az lost his camera.
It's a daily occurrence now.
Your wire, maybe?
The Coof broke a lot of
Just gotta
celebrities
plug it back
and
in.
rock and rollers and proved them to be, they're not the rock and roll rebels you think they are, which is very sad. There are a lot of pussies.
You couldn't get any more fucking establishment if you tried, mate.
Yeah, you really couldn't. But I do feel, that Metallica album. Listen, they haven't been good since Justice. Death Magnetic was probably their best album since Justice. I don't like the Black Album. Okay, I just don't. But that's a proof. That's proof of fatigue. I used that analogy before. Metal was at the top of the world in the late 80s and early 90s. Like chart-topping, Metallica was hitting #1, but it was with one of their worst albums because it's towards the end. So you could still have massive popularity right before the fall. Now, does metal still exist? Absolutely. Where it belongs. It's niche. That's where it belongs. That's where it needs to be, and it's doing just great where it is. It doesn't need to be the top of the pops and get all commercial and crazy. And those were good times. The late 80s, late 80s especially with metal was fucking great. But everything has its time, The Bridge on the River Kwai, says Robert Kearney for $19.99. That would be that's a damn good movie. Have you guys seen that? You've seen that,
Yeah.
right?
Sorry?
Bridge on the River Kwai.
Bridge over
No,
the
I've not
river.
seen that.
Over the River Kwai.
Yeah, it's about a bunch of British prisoners
POWs.
of war
Alec Guinness.
who were forced to build a bridge over the River Kwai. But Alec Guinness, he starts to get so involved in the project that he wants to actually end up building the bridge while his guys are trying to tell him it's the fucking enemy. We should be sabotaging this, not building it. And it's a wonderful film. That's such a TLDR, but it's a wonderful.
It is one of the all-time greats. MauLer, if you haven't seen it, I cannot recommend it enough.
And that ending is just like, yeah. Great Escape is another phenomenal movie.
Fucking
as well.
amazing movie.
Oh, I've seen that.
M. Blake Awards for $20. Hail Real BBC. Congrats to Kathleen Kennedy for taking billion-dollar intellectual properties and shepherding them to the level of interest, excitement, and profitability of the WNBA.
Oh.
That's a good analogy. That really is. A Knockmamon, abuser of Streamlabs, for $40 of the 20 movies as listed off. He didn't list the outlaw Josie Wales, which is my favorite Western. Shame on you, as shame. P.S. Speaking of greatest movies ever made, I just got The Thing and Highlander for 4K. I've got both of those in 4K as well. Highlander is special to me because I was named after Connor McLeod.
The Thing is a high score for me. That'll be top for horror. Like number one.
That is my number one horror movie. I would agree. The Thing. John Carpenter is a fucking genius. CC Thorne for $55. Gary, Raiders is the greatest movie of all time. However, I suddenly remembered my Charlemagne. Let my armies be the rocks and the trees and the birds in the sky. Crusaders is damn close as some has some of the great lines and heart. I thought I lost you, boy.
No ticket.
Dude, I wonder if you'll concede this, Gary. Is that the funniest of the three?
Yes.
The Lost Crusade?
Yes.
Because fuck me, the jokes in that are brilliant. Do you remember when Salah was putting his bags down and he goes, "Oh yes, I'll get my papers just now. Run." Here they are. And then Brody's like, "Run, run. What? What did you say?" Like,
But even before that, you'll never find Marcus Brody. He knows 15 languages. He knows all these. He could fit in. He's a comedian. You'll never ever find him. He's just walking around going, Excuse me. Does anybody know the
Did he say, does anyone speak English or ancient Greek?
Yeah.
Or something like
or ancient Greek? Yeah. Then Elliott was
Raiders
the fucking daddy.
was
man.
the most serious of them all. Drawbacks were the Marcus Brody, the jokes, I think. They're fun, and it's still the second best one. The 900-year-old knight. He's got some good lines, but that's like jumping out of a raft from a plane for me. It's a little.
The knight? What's wrong with the knight? He's been drinking from the Holy Grail. He's immortal.
Has he just been
Well,
sipping
defend the Grail.
slightly?
Not quite immortal, but he's aging exceedingly.
Yeah,
he's
slow.
9,000 years
I
old.
was
Yeah.
fine with it, but if we're parsing like Raiders, and everybody's gonna go, "Oh, the Ark of the Covenant," blah, 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 blah. Dude, that supernatural stuff felt grounded and real. Like that was really fucking cool, and that's also based on, I liked the just fucking it was scary. It was adventure. There was a levity, especially, with the ad-libbed, with the guy with the sword that Indy was supposed to, that Harrison Ford was supposed to fight, and he had the flu, and he just fucking shot the guy. I mean, that's
he had diarrhea.
the flu, diarrhea. He was
It was
shitting
food
his
poisoning.
pants.
Well, it could be all
Yeah,
three,
deli. We used to call it deli belly. I don't know if that's politically correct anymore, but he had deli belly.
And it had Marion.
Oh, Marion.
Marion's the
Hey,
best.
so does Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
It does. That film doesn't exist, though.
There's one bit that annoys me incredibly. And it's
Marion
not the film's
Marion
fault,
can't
it's-
counteract a fucking UFO, okay? Which Indy should not be fighting. He should be fighting
No.
it should be religious.
Religious or supernatural.
Or
That's
supernatural.
Indiana
Atlantis.
Jones.
They should be searching for Atlantis. For one, there's a renewed interest in Atlantis right now. And it would be much better of him finding Atlantis right now. But no, they wanted to fit in. They needed Nazis one more time because there's neo-Nazis in the world right now. So we need to remind everybody that Nazis are bad. January 6th.
I just like the idea. It's like, well, we can only really do it if we had like a fucking time machine or some shit. And they all look around in the boardroom like, can we do that? Like, can we get a time machine? Let's do it.
Yeah. And there's like other, they should stick to religious stuff. I think that's kind of what
I love ancient religions. I love ancient civilizations. All of that stuff is such fun to play with when you're doing an action adventure. Like National Treasure. They're not wonderful films, but I love them. I love both of them.
Dude, they are. How
'cause
dare
they're
you?
just fun.
The
They're
first
just
one is
ton
a
of fucking
wonderful
fun.
film. The first one is actually a wonderful film. I freaking
Damn
love
it.
that movie.
I think if you adore the Indiana Jones trilogy, then you probably like The Mummy. That's a pretty.
I
big spiritual
freaking
success.
love The Mummy.
Yeah, with Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, I
Mummy's
love
the
it.
shit.
I love it. I love the first two. I love the second one as well.
My kid just watched it for the first time last week.
It's,
Oh,
It's a fucking great movie.
that is filled
Good
with
movie.
all kinds of genre elements. Wonderful.
Everything about it is cool. Love it. It's got horrible CGI, and I don't care because it's a good movie, good story, and Rachel Weisz.
Well, I love Rick O'Connell as an action hero. It's sad they didn't get more, than the 3 movies. But hey, whatever.
But when
almost
that
good,
movie came
so,
out, it was popular. People liked it. It wasn't taken seriously, but I think it's taken far more seriously now. Like people look back on it as much more fondly. I remember it came out before Phantom Menace. It was the same year, right, chat?
99, I think
And
so.
it was kind of like supposed to be, and it ended up being much better. Much better. That's right. Didn't think that was going to happen. Waddle D's Nuts for $1.99. X-Ray Girl plays Gollum when?
never. I don't
Wow.
want to be broken like
Mark
these
it on it.
3 guys.
Make a-
I've got the next game more.
Only if Gary finishes it, I'll play it.
Well, yeah, you're going to have to be there the next time I play because I can't,
What happened?
I just was terrible with the
It's
super
his
chats.
adult diaper.
You know, that's in all of our futures, by the way. Just to break it
I
to you.
mean, I've
That's in
changed
all of
people.
our
This would be very
futures.
weird, but
Don't think, well, that's not going to happen to
I'll pay
me.
someone else for it.
A lot
I'll
of
pay
people
someone
pay
else
good
to do
money
it.
for that.
Don't
where-
knock until you try them, right?
I just saw a super don't. Well, yeah. I mean, there is something to be said about not having to waste time going to the bathroom, just taking a shit right there where you're sitting.
Have you noticed that? By the way, have you noticed that midnight cinema releases, or 5 past midnight, whatever it is, or 1 minute past midnight cinema releases, totally stopped now?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't do that anymore.
Why don't we just release movies on Monday, for fuck's sake? You know?
I think we might as well release it on Wednesday, or Tuesday.
Well,
You know what they did?
the midnight
release a day earlier,
releases
and then
turned into
just go-
Thursday releases, which are now turning into Wednesday releases. So yeah, it's gonna be like Monday. The shit will come out. Where's the super chat where they said the Marvels leaked? Because I thought that was a good.
Marvels.
Here, I guess I can do Control F.
The post-credit scene.
Yes.
I'll change it to.
Could you read
bright
it? Could you just read it?
Oh, sure. This is from Joshua Levesque for $1.99. Says, "Hail all! The Marvel's post-credit scene is MCU."
So, do y'all hear about the Reddit leaks? Grace Randolph, being the blonde bimbo that she is, goes, "I sure hope the leaks don't come out because they're amazing." And all her comments are, "Well, now that we know about them, we're gonna all fucking search them, you dipshit." So
It's called the Streisand effect.
and that's what she meant. She just needs to be in the know, and that's part of the access media is like when you don't have a take on anything, you just got to be early. You got to be first, and it can't be just your take that people want to.
I think it was in a Mario review that we covered on EFAB, but she makes it clear she loves the pampering. She's like, yeah, we came in there, we got some sweets and toys and stickers and pamphlets and welcomed and some nice drinks, the seating. Oh, it was a lovely air-conditioned room. It was just like, do you even like movies?
Well, dude, this is. I mean, I did before I did anything on YouTube. I had a working career for a long time.
Yep.
And I was in sales and marketing. And one thing that we were taught, very first thing we were taught when it comes to sales,
fuck the customer.
No, surprisingly enough, that's the modern
that wasn't
day.
it. Oh, okay.
No, do you know what it was? It was called MMFI. Make me feel important. That was your job as a salesperson to whoever you're selling to, whether you're selling to them in a marketing role or whether you're selling them into your product. You make that person feel important. This is what Access Media is. Access Media is their customer because they're going to give the good reviews. They don't want to deal with actually you or I that part with the money. So according for their marketing to work, they have to make the Access Media feel important. So this is where all the pampering comes in. This is where all the John Campion hand job shit comes in, and the tuna sandwiches come in, and the gift bags come in, and the are you okay? Would you like anything to drink? These wonderful nice seats for you to watch this show in the comfort. All of this, it just plays to the ego of that person. Make me feel important. That's all they have to do. And it's such a simple and easy thing for them to do with Access Media. That's why we have a sham of a media system now, of a mainstream media system. And this is why, look at me, we are the mainstream media now, sort of thing. This is why people will come to YouTube. This is why people come to alternative sources, because it's just become so corrupt. It's gone into such a wonky direction that nobody trusts the places that we all used to go to in the past for honesty. It's gone. The honesty has been bought away. And it's all very basic principles of sales and marketing. That's it. So simple.
Have you in your place of work, because they did it for me, did they give you a correct speaking speed that they wanted you to reach?
We were told to not go too fast. We were told to be concise with our pronunciation and words, but we didn't actually have a speed. We were just told don't go too fast.
Yeah, we all got
that
given
people
like
can fully understand.
this
Break up your
3-paragraph thing
sentences.
to read, and then it was recorded, and then they would tell you like you need to slow the fuck down or speed the fuck up depending on whatever problem. I remember thinking like, man, this feels weird, but sure, whatever.
This is as fundamental as you can get, and it's ironic because the studios are doing the fundamental sales and marketing that the actual people that they're selling to, the access media, are doing the complete reverse.
Well,
because they're then attacking the client, the who should be their clients. People, you in the audience watching now, you should be the mainstream media's customer. But
yes.
you're not.
No, that's the.
You don't see you. It's crazy.
No, they have been catering so much to each other. I would call it a circle jerk.
Mm-hmm.
They've been circle jerking each other. They completely forgot the money, which is us. So access media journalists think that they only are answerable to the people who give them access and the stars they want to fuck, basically. And they don't realize that they need people to read their stuff and maybe look at their ads on their websites, the people they have disdain for. And that was one of the biggest surprises when I started the comic shop, was I started hearing the disdain for the customer from the journalists. There's no fucking thing. There's no such thing as a comic book journalist. They report on fucking comic books. You're not a journalist. You interview fucking people. Any fucking moron can do that. So there's no such thing as a comic book journalist. But yeah, it became a giant circle jerk, and the same with the access media. They're not. How many times did we hear creatives and people from the journalists say, we don't answer to you. We're contractors.
Oh yeah.
We don't answer to you. Well, welcome to the new
You're
world.
not our customer. The comic shop's our customer.
Welcome to the new world. You want to be on social media? You are now answerable directly to the customer, and they will tell you exactly what they fucking think whenever they fucking want. And there's nothing you can block, you can mute, and then you stop being what you say you are, what you never were, was a journalist. Because if you're blocking everybody else's opinions on everything, you're just in a fucking bubble. Now they're in the bubble, and that bubble is running out of oxygen. I was going to make a submarine joke, and I didn't, okay?
Didn't you kind of by saying that?
No. I did. Maybe.
But don't.
You want to so badass. You want to so bad.
I don't.
Yes,
I was
you
gonna
do.
go. They didn't run out of oxygen, dude. It imploded. But but okay.
Well, there was no more oxygen after it imploded.
Joke
Well, no, because the oxygen was heated
Fire took it.
to the temperature of the sun's surface in a nanosecond. That's why.
Yep.
That was the sound. That was
They
made.
probably
Pretty much.
didn't feel a thing. That would be my guess.
I hope not.
Didn't feel a thing. I hope.
You know
not.
the chick that fucked all the police officers, the police officer woman that fucked all the police officers.
Yeah.
I have that meme too. I was dying over that. Can I show it?
What does this have to do with the submersible? What?
Wow, you were already all over it.
Ah, I see.
I was dying about this like 10 minutes ago. Anyways.
Five Guys is really good burgers.
Yes, it is.
Solid burgers. Do you have a Five Guys in the UK?
We
You know?
do now.
You
We
do?
I noticed it recently. There's one that they're like rising up over here.
Oh. Fries are okay.
Google Five Guys, everyone. See,
Don't. Fries are okay. I'm told the shakes are good. I'm not a shake guy. Burgers, really solid. Really, really good. Now, I've been to the UK. I went to Burger King out of pure desperation in London.
Oh God, that must have been horrible.
Oh my God, it was terrible. But it's terrible here too. So, I mean, to be fair, it's terrible here. They did serve beer there, though. I didn't drink it, but they did serve beer
Oh, that's cool.
Oh,
in
yeah.
the Burger King there, and they don't do that here for some reason.
How long ago was that, though? How many years ago was that?
20.
Oh, you ain't getting beer now.
Oh, that's so lame.
Well, not that you'd have it anyway, but you know what I mean.
Hey, I don't buy cigarettes, but do the cigarettes they sell there, do they still have like charred out lungs on the pictures and stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got like I think
Samesies.
I want to say near 25 guys in Britain. So not as popular as McDonald's.
There's 25 guys.
We got 25 guys in Britain.
Is that technically
We got the
Five
pit.
Guys?
We got the
Five of
brick of
those?
it.
The population is dwindling.
25 guys. in Britain.
That's a lot of stabbings.
They took the patriarchy down.
These guys are gonna have to do a lot of work.
The hot commodity.
62.5 million they them.
So the Marvel leaks, you know what they are? Does anybody care? Do we even need to put up the spoil? No, we don't. We don't.
Nobody gives
We
a
don't.
fuck.
The Marvels
Spoil not a story.
The Marvels is going to flop. Okay, if Flash with Michael Keaton Batman in it can't like muster up money, what do you think? Okay, to watch the Marvels and know what's going on, you need to watch Captain Marvel, WandaVision, Miss Marvel, and Secret Invasion, which nobody really did. So, I mean, it's just going to be catastrophic. I can't wait. I am so looking forward to this movie. You don't even know.
Be really curious for some kind of like, godlike machine thing to tell us exactly how many people in the world have watched all of those things before the Marvels. Because there's got to be like 10 at most.
Right? So I was told.
I'm not even sure. Like, how many people would truly have watched all of
I had it. I have a video. I have the formula in a video of how many people were watching Disney Plus shows compared to the movies. And it ended up being like 30 million to like 2 million. Something to that effect. So a very small percentage of the people are watching Disney Plus. A very small percentage of the people who watch the movies. I can't remember it now, but so guess what they're introducing? This that Grace was saying was going to be so great in the future of Marvel. It is indeed more MCU. It's the Young Avengers. Kate Bishop shows up at the end of the fucking Marvels. Kate Bishop.
Yay!
Which most people are going to go.
You're gonna need to
Who's
remind
she?
everyone.
I was about to say, who is she?
Yeah. Who the fuck is this? You just have Ezra Miller going, who the fuck are you?
Female Hawkeye, and they're setting up the Young Avengers, which is mostly going to be women, so it won't be like the Young Avengers from the comics where Kang, there's a version of Kang is Iron Lad, and a Skrull is in it as well, and they also have the two kids, Wanda's two kids. One was originally called the Asgardian, and he's gay. They changed his name.
The Asgard.
The Asgardian, but we were calling him the Asgardian, okay, in the comic shop.
Of course he's gay.
And he was gay.
Nobody's straight in comics anymore.
And, I mean, the comic was fine, but it's going to have Scar. Remember Scar? Our boy Scar?
I would genuinely like to poll the
No, I
chat
don't.
on, have we seen Scar in the MCU, yes or no? I'd just like to poll
I'm not
chat
gonna
and
say
see what their
anything.
answers
Oh.
are.
I'm not going to
Okay.
say anything then.
Have we seen Scar?
Have
Oh,
you
while
seen
you're doing
MauLer?
that-
MauLer, have you seen the comic book version of Scar? Like what
Yes.
he's supposed to look like? It's fucking
Yes.
cool. Very cool.
Yes. You
Just-
say that as though we've seen him in the MCU already, Gary. But that's a maybe. We may see what
I've only
everybody.
seen him in Lion King.
Because there's a correct answer. I'm just curious if people remember. Oh my God! Look at the results, Gary.
Oh, wait, let me see.
Maybe that's being
82%
ironic. Like we
no.
haven't seen him even. You know what I mean? The point I'm trying to make is I'm just curious if anyone remembers the fact that they introduced Scar into the MCU. They did, but it just
Did I
looks
spell it wrong? I probably
No,
spelled
no,
it
I'm pretty
wrong.
sure that's how you do it, right? Or is it like a
Okay.
double R or something?
No, you spelled it wrong.
You fool! Oh, it's a K, isn't it?
You spelled it really,
Whoopsies.
really wrong.
While you're doing that, can I just will you allow me
SKAAR.
to read this
There you go.
excerpt from a comic?
Yeah.
This is Kate Bishop talking about America
I knew you were
Chavez
Oh,
gonna bring this up.
as she flies away with a ethnic new girlfriend.
This is peak SJW Marvel right here.
I'm literally intrigued. I'm going to read it verbatim as well.
Read it
This ain't
verbatim.
bullshit.
I'd say in character if you can.
I'm literally intrigued and in awe of both of them. If this is what it's like to date other women, then I applaud all the women dating women right now because this is incredible. Motorcycle courtship chase? Check. Missiles and explosions? Yep. And now we're just flying together in the sky, heading to a giant heart. I swear, if they come back married, I'm gonna be so jealous. Always the bride's best archer, never the archer bride.
That was horrendous. How is that legal?
I can't
No
believe
country
I got
failed.
printed.
It's tough to argue. It's tough to argue that women didn't ruin comics when you hear something like that.
It's tough to argue that women got the vote when you read something like that.
When we invented women, we didn't realize it would go this far.
Yeah. When we allowed them to speak, we didn't understand.
We didn't know the consequences of giving up that rib. Okay, damn it.
Ribs.
See what I'm talking
We
about?
just thought we just thought God wanted to make us barbecue.
We just thought God was. We thought we were making our sandwich maker.
Hey.
That needs to be your next T-shirt, X-Ray Girl. Sandwich maker.
maker.
Yeah,
Yes.
right there.
I was actually thinking next hat. Someone suggested triple X on the hat.
Yes.
So I don't know. Merch for the future.
Or X-ray girl.
So we're getting.
Remember?
In my chest X-ray.
Just be a man.
So if there's any,
Just
if you
glimmer.
had any glimmer of hope that superhero fatigue wasn't real, the big post-credit scene and the all-female. I mean, we practically got the A-Force. If you don't know what the A-Force was, it was an all-women team from the comic books. And the one thing I remember is Hasbro made a Marvel Legends A-Force pack that was sold at Toys R Us, and it was always this mountain of clearance that was never touched right before Toys R Us went out of business. The A-Force Marvel Legends pack, I'm sure some of you remember it. Nobody fucking bought it. Nobody bought the
Hopefully you
comic.
picked it up, Gary, for your collection.
But I did not. I did not.
Must have just missed out, huh?
Just missed out on that one. But this is as close as we're going to get to that, because I've mentioned it in videos like, I want an A-Force movie so bad. It will create so much acceleration. So now we're having we've had conversations about this. We knew this was going to happen the minute Captain Marvel came out and we saw it. We're like, oh, we know exactly where they're going because they went there in the comic books and they're getting the exact same results. And as you know, DC might come out the best, although they've completely damaged their brand by rebooting the DCEU after 10 years of, let's face it, it didn't get off the ground. And let's not forget to mention the CW. The CW, a network that never turned a profit, was sold for a bag of potato chips, which was filled with DC TV shows. So they've damaged their brand. And the big conversation now with superhero fatigue is, this going to continue if we keep getting bad movies? Well, we're going to get some really bad movies. And the Marvels is going to kick them off. When Kraven the Hunter might be the best movie for the rest of the year as far as superheroes are concerned, we're in trouble. A lot of fucking trouble, dude.
But Russell Crowe's doing an accent again.
I love Russell Crowe. I do. He's getting puffy. He's getting a little puffy. But I love Russell Crowe. I don't know. We have Blue Beetle. We have the Marvels. We have Kraven the Hunter. And Aquaman 2 featuring Amber Turd. That's the rest of the year.
That's gonna be a fun one, isn't it?
Woo!
We'll see. What are we thinking for Aquaman box office?
Aquaman.
Aquaman?
I'm going to go with a...
He says aqua. I say aqua.
I say Aqua.
400,
You're British.
450 tops.
I would have thought that, but then I was like, I wonder if... What have we learned from the Flash flopping? Like, what does that mean?
Aquaman's going to do... it'll do easily under 100 million for its opening weekend. I would say probably 50 to 60 million opening weekend.
Because for some reason my mind's wandering to 400 mil as well, but I'm like, maybe it'll be
I don't
less.
think so. I think it'll be less.
It could be a lot less.
I think Blue Beetle will be a lot less. Everybody's like,
I think that one's set to fail miserably.
I'm
I
hearing
can see Shazam levels of flop with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Shazam had a leg up on Blue Beetle because it had a fucking first movie.
It had a first movie, and some people know who Shazam is. It's like nobody knows who Blue Beetle is. Okay, outside of
the only, I mean, if there's a Cobra Kai audience that want to see Solo as Blue Beetle, I don't know. Otherwise, I just don't see how this makes money at all. I just don't.
Yeah.
These were just productions that were too far ahead that they couldn't cancel. And I've heard a lot of people talk about, like, they canceled Batgirl. Why couldn't they cancel these? Batgirl was for streaming. Batgirl was specifically for streaming. That's why it was easier to cancel. This was.
They were thinking of a limited theatrical run.
They were, but it was never. No deals were signed. Deals were signed. So when you intend and announce to release something and you write contracts based on it being released in movie theaters, it has to be released in movie theaters. The one good thing, I mean, the accountants out there can tell me if I'm right or wrong on this one. My dad was accountant, and none of that shit passed on to me. So, I would think that if you release your film, and as Script Doctor correctly put it, that the film is a small business within this corporation, right? And that small business, or not small, it's its own business, loses money. You can write some of that off, write some of it down as a loss. So there's probably some funky accounting that they can do by releasing these movies and them flopping. Lots of money laundering was done through B movies.
Yeah,
still is.
The reality course is they got greenlit in a time where loads of shit was getting greenlit. It was like, yeah, we're on top of the world. Go.
You're not wrong. They were high. They were really high. Not on cocaine, because people made better decisions when they were high on cocaine. They were high on their own fucking farts. And, well, this is the
now
end.
we can see the results.
Yeah,
you got an industry full of people that think they're better than you making films with characters that they don't even like. How is this ever going to be a good idea?
Yeah, and never did like and never respected. You know,
and can't wait to teach you a lesson with.
Let's go back to our polls from last Real BBC, and we were all surprised what won. We were asking what's the best MCU film, and we were all like, Avengers, Winter Soldier, Civil War, Guardians of the Galaxy. No, it was Iron Man.
Iron Man.
Yeah.
Iron Man. Iron Man.
By a comfortable margin.
By a comfortable margin, because it was a serious film with a good actor that took the source material seriously, took itself seriously, and it looked like the brand. And the brand is the comic book character. So when you have, say, I don't know, for example, Black Falcon Captain America coming out with his goggles looking like he's about to hit the ski slopes, and you call that Captain America, it doesn't necessarily reflect on the brand, which is Steve Rogers.
Man, I blank it all the time. When people like Captain America 4, I'm like, oh fuck, right, that thing. Sure, that movie, that's gonna do real fucking well. I'm sure of it.
Brave New World Order.
It's gonna fall apart.
Oh yeah,
I like Captain Black Falcon. I think that's perfect.
I think it's a perfect title. So again, next year we have Captain America: Brave New World will be out. Thunderbolts is set for December. They're not filming it right now. It's going to get delayed. Deadpool 3 is going to get delayed. There's no way they're filming it as we speak. And they wanted to come out in less than a year. Now they did that with Venom. They were able to pull it off with Venom, and quite frankly, it showed. It showed that was a movie made in about 6 months. They did that motorcycle jump from Venom, like right down the street from my wife's old salon, by the way. In the hellhole that's called San Francisco. James Moore for $20. I will defend Invincible's use of multiverse. It doesn't branch into multiple series for one. Light spoilers of the comics. Yes, it's in the comics. It's tied to a single character's power, and it is important for Mark's arc in the rest of the series. Yeah, it just depends. Like, are they going to stay? James, here's what I'll say. We've seen a lot of TV shows be pretty close to the character, be somewhat close to the comics in the first season, then they like to take liberties like The Boys. So we'll see what happens. If they try to stay true to Kirkman's comic book, sure. Absolutely sure. No problem. But we've seen them lure you in with that first season and then get all agenda politically, and then they start copying other shit. But hopefully they don't do it with the Invincible. But The Boys certainly went downhill.
I mean, even with, time travel, multiverse, crossovers, you can do all of those things well. You can also, most of the time, fuck them up.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for from Disney.
What's something good?
Honey, I Transitioned the Kids.
Are they own the rights to that?
Well, that would be autobiographical for somebody, right? I mean, that would be nonfiction. Be nonfiction. Honey, we're grooming the kids. No Zaku boy for $50 on the Streamlabs side. By the way, I did get your letter that was certified, and I greatly appreciate it. I have the super chats now. So I have a copy of them, and thank God you did it Boomer style. He didn't send me an email. He sent me like a printed copy, which is perfect. So it goes into our file for another day. Well, that's the way I work. It was funny. MauLer and I were talking about scripts. He's all, you write yours down, and I'm all, you type yours. He's all, yeah, like an idiot. I'm all, oh, I write mine with a pen. So yeah,
That's incredible. I respect it. I make a lot of mistakes, Gary, so I can just backspace it and it's all still clean,
I do too, but I just spell words how they would sound to me, so it makes perfect sense to me. They're like, most of my scripts are horribly misspelled, but I can read them perfectly. Yeah, phonetic. Yeah,
some phonetics.
yeah, dude. I was doing on Forbidden Frontiers. It just made me think. I almost said Orgiganten. I almost said. I caught myself. I'm like, nope. Orangutan. That's so close. That's old Jeremy lore, by the way. You got me on T. Louis too.
T. Louis the Second.
T. Louis the Second.
Back to No Zaku Boys. Streamlab donation. Thank you for avoiding Papa Susan, who sees into the hearts of men and the undergarments of women. Peeping Tom. Tom has been imprisoned in the bowels of Castle Castrodo.
Castrato?
Castrato. Oh, so shit.
Oh, no.
Okay, I'm going to start. Peeping Tom. Tom has been imprisoned in the bowels of Castle Castrato and must fight his way free from bondage. Tom will need stones of brass to survive the torture of lockballs.
Oh my
Wait,
god.
is that what that
No.
Well, so I'm surprised that Gary doesn't
Lockballs
recognize it. It's a
is
very
Gollum
common
lore.
chant from orcs, I'm surprised he doesn't know it.
Lockballs.
It was all over the movies, I'm sure.
Lockballs.
Wait a minute. I got to keep playing to get to that now.
You're not
No,
gonna
Gary.
make it to that, Gary.
It's in chapter 9,
Out of
maybe
10.
out of 10. So,
Dude, the most messages, emails, everything I've gotten was from last night in a long time.
Well, people just were they asking you for more? Or?
Yes.
would ask you to stop.
I thought they would, but they take their own personal amusement over our well-being, and
Yeah.
I am aware of that.
Yes, they do, Gary. Yes, they do.
Did you see Grego's meme? It's Lord of the Rings Gary, and I used it for my thumbnail on the
Yes.
re-upload.
Yes.
So good, dude. So good. I look like a fucking moron, like I normally do, like a moron. Mean Machine 2K for 20 British pounds. Proper money, ladies and gentlemen. Don't shoot me, but Indy had no impact to Raiders of the Lost Ark. Oh my God. Stop.
Wait, is that
he-
a common thing people say?
Yes, he found the arc. That is impact, okay? That is so. I know at video essays, I know people have been saying that for years and years and years and years. I would say Indy had some impact because a lot of people like the movie. Pretty much Go on.
What is the argument? Because
The argument is
recently watched it.
he doesn't get the arc in the end. Like, it goes to the government. So, like, everything he did was kind of useless and pointless.
What? Okay, but the golden idol gets taken off him. That doesn't make him any less skilled.
Which is
when he got it.
foreshadowing, by the way.
Yeah, like that. I didn't realize that this is the thing. I prefer the third, but I would never count it as a criticism of the first that he doesn't get to keep the arc.
He doesn't want to keep the arc. He wants to get it out of the hands of the Nazis.
Yeah.
And he found it.
And he did find it. That's true.
And he found it.
Yes.
He did the eye laser thing.
He did the eye, that he found where to dig properly.
The map room. Greatest musical sequence done by John Williams.
Don't watch video essays and then think that's your point.
Yeah.
Because you'll never be able to argue it properly.
I don't even I don't buy the premise that if a character didn't get to keep the treasure at the end, then it's not good or something. Like, there's a lot more to it than that.
Yeah, even if your character loses at the end, doesn't achieve his or her goal, they still have impact. I mean,
fucking, Luke lost at the end of the second Star Wars, right?
Yeah. Oh, he didn't have impact in Empire Strikes Back.
No impact.
No, I don't want to give this guy. Don't shoot the messenger, he says. Now, if we're talking about best grossing film, Paranormal Activity made for $15,000, grossed $400 million. Just saying. But what about Blair
for sure.
Blair Witch?
Blair Witch, probably the ratio on that's got to be higher, right? Because that was like a $10,000
That's like a $10,000 movie, yeah.
It was $8,000 movie.
Something
ridiculously
small.
No, Paranormal Activity was for one, it's a great movie, and
I really like it. Yeah,
and it's the
What's
first
the conversation that this is a great film.
Well, I think I think they were saying profitability. I think he just changed the argument, which is fine. Like, profitable movies, that does matter. Like, greatest movie of all time, greatest single movie of all time that I like. That's my favorite movie.
Is Paranormal Activity your favorite movie of all time?
It might be.
Is it anybody's favorite movie of all time?
No.
The answer is no. Did it make a shitload of profit? Congrats.
Absolutely, yeah, and good.
Absolutely, well done. Congrats.
And
it spawned, unfortunately, a fucking massive string of fucking horse shit because of it.
I worked on the Blu-ray for 1 and 2, and I was alone, and I have a bunch of screens in my security screens where I worked, and it looked a lot like the second one, right? So it legit started creeping me out at work because I was alone at work in the middle of the night. I'm like, shit.
It's kind of neat though. If I buy the Blu-ray for Paranormal 1 and 2, then I'm seeing your work, right?
Yeah,
technically, in the menus and stuff.
A little bit. True Blood, a lot of the True Blood stuff I worked on, and I carried the master for Thor. I did. Ooh. I transferred that to the vault. Pretty much anything Paramount that came out in 2009, 10, 11, I had a little bit of a hand in. Teeny bit of a hand in. The very gay Dan Vask for 100 Brazilian pesos says, Iron Man is the best MCU film, but what is the best Marvel film, and why is it Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man 2? Spider-Man 2. Sub to Dan Vask. He obviously needs it. I mean, he's running out of Christians to get subs from. So.
How to get the Satanists.
Oh, well, he's going to kill me at Christmas. He's going to now that he did Amazing Grace, he's going to do some Christmas Carol, and it's over. All right. So I need Kathleen Kennedy to get fired, or Star Wars to get sold, or I don't know. That's
Disney to go bankrupt.
You know what you need, Gary? A new Indiana Jones movie.
Oh, I need that and the Marvels. What I need is Rings of Power season 2 to come out early. That's what I need.
I just realized I can't go see No, I wish. Indiana Jones tomorrow. I gotta wait until probably Thursday.
That's what I'm seeing it. But your Thursday's like kind of a Friday for me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's curious. So someone admin said the argument is that if Indy wasn't in the movie, the Nazis would have found the Ark eventually and killed all of themselves at the end, all the same. But then the Ark would still fall to the Nazis, right? Because Indy was there.
That's a really broad assumption. How would they have found out eventually?
Oh, that's the thing. I'm still criticizing it,
Reasons.
even if they did find it, would they not, like, the reason the Ark is taken away from the Nazis because Indy closes his eyes along with Marion and they get possession of the Ark then, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. So, like, obviously a bunch of Nazis dying at the Ark, there's going to be one or two of them who come and check and they're like, oh, everyone's fucking dead, but the Ark is still here. So it'd still be with the Nazis, right? I assume.
Yeah, and then he touches the Ark and dies.
Well, I'm assuming that, like, Indy. My point is the Indy being there is the reason it ends up with the British government, right?
The whole point of having the
American.
poles is so that you don't touch the Ark. Because in the Bible, touching the Ark kills you immediately.
Kills you, yeah. It's if it existed, it was some sort of technology. That's what it was. It was some sort of ancient technology that was.
I still don't buy that makes a movie bad though.
No, of course not. And then you're not factoring in, like, you know when Indy's going into the Well of Souls and there's a big lightning storm. Those don't happen in fucking Egypt, dude. So that's God. It's God. God's hand is there too. God, I've seen this movie so many fucking times. Indiana Jones is not pointless. He's the main character, and he absolutely drives the entire film. And no, it doesn't end up in a museum. I think the ending is so perfect. It's one of the most iconic endings of all fucking time, of it rolling in and just being forgotten in the bureaucracy of government. So
yeah, that's great.
Don't worry, we see it again in the fourth one.
Oh, fuck.
What fourth one?
No, sorry. I think I just got possessed by some demon for a minute there.
Yeah, stop it. I almost kicked you from this fucking live stream.
You are a demon.
I'm not Googling Five Guys, not after the typo I made Googling the Dixie Chicks, says Ian So Forth for 25 British pounds. Oh my. Bass player 2011 Iffy on the Streamlabs side for $20. Iron Man works because it is all killer and no filler. Well said. There isn't a single wasted shot or line in that film. Go back and watch the opening scene. It tells you everything you need to know about Tony before he says a single word. Yep. You're absolutely right. Mm-hmm. And it was, you know, I remember when it came out, before it came out, I think all of our expectations were it was just going to be kind of like your average run of the mill. It would be like Daredevil, like Ben Affleck's Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
The expectations, and then you started hearing like decent reviews, right? You're like, well, okay. But when I walked out of there going, like, that's when you know, it's like when you walked out of the Avengers or you walked out of Lord of the Rings, you know, or even Star Wars or Raiders. You're like, I just saw something special. I just saw something that people will remember forever. I mean, you know it in a film like that. Even with what?
Coring just announced he's leaving YouTube.
Who is?
For real?
Who?
Is that actually real? I saw that super chat.
Who?
Leaving and going where, or just leaving in general?
I think either website or podcasting is just going to put clips onto
Oh,
YouTube
he
of
has
it.
a website.
Who?
He's going to
Was it going to Kick or something?
Oh, the quartering.
Yeah.
You said coring, and I'm like,
quartering.
Altering.
is he sober?
Quartering.
Yeah.
Jeremy.
Does it have something to do with Kick, or is it just separate?
I think it's got something to do with the. I mean, I can't
his own
listen to it all
website?
now, but I think it's probably got something to do with this mass banning going on with, you know, people from Blaze and all this kind of stuff, and
Really?
don't
don't, Jeremy.
maybe even
Don't do it.
Well, I was going to say, people have been banned for decades now. YouTube's annoying as fuck about it.
I think he's trying to build a platform elsewhere because
He should, but
he
he
will
should
be posting
he should
clips on
conti-
YouTube.
Continue to do it on YouTube. Stay in the belly of the beast. Stay in the belly of the beast.
YouTube
Stay
won't
here as
stop
long as you
from
can.
advertising other platforms.
Yep.
So.
I wouldn't do it. But maybe he's been planning it for a long time. I do not know. I like Jeremy.
It can't be a knee-jerk reaction.
I like
Can't
Jeremy
be.
from the quartering. I wish him all the best. I love the guy. So
All right.
I say that out of because I care. Don't do it.
Don't do
But
it.
I mean, he knows what's best for him, and yeah, like that's the thing about covering like the political stuff, you know. I mean, he's more cultural, but it's still political cultural. That's a grind, man. It can be very, very tiring. I just do it in pop culture, and that gets tiring. David Musselman for $5. I actually purchased my first 1/6 recently of The Preacher from Pale Red. Oh, god dang it. I'm not supposed to buy those. I need that. One of my favorite Westerns. Thanks, Gary. And as for the new problem, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. You know, I have too much stuff because I went digging out Az's stuff, right? I got a fourth Dr. Tom Baker. I've got an extra Gandalf, and I've got a Bilbo.
A dildo.
A
Bilbo
Oh.
Baggins. Bilbo. Not a dildo.
Got a dildo. Got it.
Dildo Baggins.
A 1-in-1 size.
Dildo Baggins.
There could be another name that rhymes with Baggins that I can't say on the internet.
How dare you?
I can't find the fourth Dr. Tom Baker, which is in a case. Remember, I accidentally ordered a case when I went to LA and I'm like, I've got a case of fourth Doctors. What did I do? Why did I do that? I can't find it now. It's in my attic somewhere, which is Comics Division's room behind me with the little doors.
I've got the Gandalf the Grey and Gandalf the White.
Yeah, but you don't have this Gandalf the Grey.
Oh.
I've got something you don't have, and it's for you. It's for you. So don't buy it, motherfucker. Matthew, I thought I was going to say misogyny, but it says Montgomery for $4.99.
That's misogyny.
Gary, playing Gollum is still better than the Rings of Power. Oh, thanks. But that's not saying much. My visit to the
That was a
bathroom.
compliment to Gollum the game at that point.
Was it only up next? That's what I'm going to do. It's going to be the next rage-inducing game.
And then it's going to drive you nuts, and then everyone's going to be like, can you get MauLer to play this, please?
Yes.
Yes.
That's because you fucking did it for me. I'm going to do it right back at you.
I'm only going to do it if you watch Prestige with me.
Watch Prestige.
Well, I guess so.
I want to watch The Prestige again. What do you think of the Doctor Who 60th anniversary special? I haven't seen it yet, Andre.
I've seen it.
Situated for $19.99. So Az and I did a live stream after Timeless Children, and we did one after the Zip or whatever it was called again. What was it called?
The zip.
Well, the Timeless Children was our first stream together.
No, what was the thing that killed the universe that they
Blip.
gave?
The Flux.
The Flux, the Zip, whatever the fuck it was
I
called.
completely forgot what it was called.
I completely blocked it out of my mind.
Zip the pants is what they did.
The Flux. So Az
Flube.
and I basically, like, right when we started the live stream, we said, Doctor Who is dead, and the only chance they have of bringing it back, and Spider-Man No Way Home had just come out, and we're like, bring back David Tennant, do it now. And like, honestly, RTD coming back like never crossed my mind because RTD had said over and over again for years, I'm never coming back. I'm never doing it again. And he never did. He said Stephen Moffat asked him to write episodes during his whole run. He never did it. Never did it. And then they backed the Brinks truck at him because they canceled the show. They canceled the fucking show. Just like somebody said they were going to do. Oh, yeah. That was a friend of mine. I see. I can't say I'm right. I can't say Nerdrotic was right because I am just passing on information I got from a friend of mine who used to work peripherally with Doctor who passed on some rumors like they were going to completely change the origin to reinforce the female Doctor, that the show was getting canceled, that they had essentially fired Chibnall and Jodie, which they essentially did. That person was right. I wasn't right. That person was right, just to make that distinction. So we said, yeah, they got to bring back David Tennant right now, and they did, and they got RTD back, which is a big surprise. And like, okay, at first we're like, okay, and then then they announced Shooty Gatwa, and we're like, ah. And then there was that BAFTA interview, which I did a live stream, and you could just see it.
There was the Rose Companion.
Was that before? No, that was done after the BAFTA interview, but you're right.
Yeah. Oh, well, during the interview, Shooty couldn't stop, from his perspective, misgendering the Doctor because he kept calling him a him.
Yep.
And then he kept correcting himself to them.
Yep.
So the fact that he was trying to correct himself to them just shows the politics is it's not going away, folks.
No, and RTD said he had a lot more to say politically in it, and you could see like the hope fading from my face during that live stream. So I'm not. It's great to have Tennant back. Of course, I'm gonna check it out because he's there. And having Donna, I don't think you should bring Donna back and retcon her ending. I think it's fucking perfect the way it is. But
we know why. We know why they are throwing everything at the kitchen sink to bring people back to the show.
They are trying to resurrect what is a dead show. And what I mean by dead is there'll always be people in the UK who are going to try it out, but it's a significantly lower number than there used to be. But the international sensation and licensing sensation that they need this to be is over. Done.
Do you know another thing? Another basic principle of sales that I was taught?
What's that?
That it's very, very difficult to get a new customer, but it's really easy to lose one.
And you lose them quietly. That's the thing is customers, most customers, the vast majority, when they're upset, they're not going to go, F you. Why did you treat me like that? They're just going to go, never going back. Bye. And that's what Hollywood's dealing with right now. And after years of trying to deny this problem, they're I don't know if it's self-reflection or navel gazing. You will decide later. But they are starting to, at least the conversation's starting to come up, and I noticed that a few months ago. Like they really got, oh shit, we're out of money. Oh shit, we pissed a lot of people off. Yeah, you did. And none of even if you come out and say you're sorry, which you should, it's not going to get everybody back. That's basically what the 60th anniversary is. It's an attempted apology while trying to have their cake and eat it too, agenda wise. To hook you into the new Doctor. So it is, I mean, pretty much a bait and switch. It is, we'll bring back Tennant. What Az and I suggested is bring back Tennant for a season, for an entire season, and revisit old Doctors. Paul McGann should have his own fucking show. Period. Like
at least a 6-issue miniseries, 6-episode miniseries.
6-episode miniseries. The man, he still can do it. He's kind of an embodiment of the Doctor, and he's so fucking good. Poor guy.
And he looks great.
Great.
I mean, he's 61, 62, looks fantastic.
Yep.
Really good shape. Great hair.
Doctor Who fans, a lot of good ones out there, man. It was a good, fun fandom. It got destroyed by politics and a few lunatics who migrated from Tumblr to Twitter. And it's sad what happened to it. But we got, 50 years of really good shit. That's a lot. I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, but the irony, of course, is that, well, not the irony. The tragedy of it is we could have 50 years more, but
easily
people are putting themselves to, we're living in the age of the narcissist. I've said this before in videos. The moment that we stopped viewing things through the lens and turned the lens on ourselves, we became a nation, a society of narcissists.
Identity over story is just where it all starts to fail, and that started in 2016. Identity was prioritized over story. I think everybody here would agree with me. Like, we don't even need to be talking about superhero fatigue. Superheroes are a medium. They're a medium, technically. I mean, they're going to be called a genre, but they're a medium because superheroes are from comic books, which is a medium that has multiple genres, which means you can have the crime, noir, Daredevil, Batman-ish, The Shadow. You can do all that. You can do science fiction with Guardians of the Galaxy. You could do adventure with Spider-Man. You could horror. You can do every genre possible. Spy, thriller, within comic books. But instead, everything became Guardians of the Galaxy. Even fucking Flash. Even Flash became Guardians of the Galaxy. Stupid humor, music, which worked for one movie. And instead, they just turned it into gobbledygook soup of CGI splooge, which is the technical term, by the way.
Scientific.
But there's no way it could go on forever as a driver for the box office, but it's not. The best comic book movie ever made was Dread. Literally a perfect movie, says Jet Engine for $20. You will not get an argument from me.
The difference, though, between like there wasn't a Western coming out every fucking week, you know,
and there wasn't a streaming.
By the Western.
Well, no, the thing was there was actually more Westerns. I mean, like it wasn't. I'd have to go back. I wasn't alive in the 50s and in the 60s, but I do know that there was a lot of Western TV shows and a lot of Western movies. But no, I don't think it's at the level of D+ streaming shows and Marvel movies. Just on the Marvel side, counting Secret Invasion, which is not finished, 18 projects since 2021. 18. And MauLer's going to disagree with me, and so is Az, and that's fine. But of the Disney Marvel stuff produced, 18 projects, the only things that were good were Guardians of the Galaxy, Christmas Special, and 3. And I mean good. Not great. Not the best thing ever made. I mean good. Out of 18 fucking projects.
No, these Marvel projects.
Disney Marvel only, not Sony. Not Sony.
So
No Way Home is far and away the best.
Now add all the DC stuff to that. Now add all the Sony stuff to that.
Suicide Squad I liked. The Batman.
No. I mean, just as a project, as superhero project.
18, and I believe it was since 2020. We'll be fair. So starting with Birds of Prey, I think we can add 5 to that. So that's 23 projects, and then Morbius, Spider-Man: No Way Home, Venom 2, Across the Spider-Verse. That's 27 projects. Out of 27 projects, like 4 were good in the last 3 to 4 years. Or no, 2 to 3 years. Out of 27 projects. So like 1 out of every 5 projects is good. That's fatigue. And we're not even talking about Invincible and The Boys and all the other side, superhero stuff they had on TV.
Makes me think it's faster.
What was that?
There's so many more projects. Like the whole, flame burns twice as bright, burns out twice as fast.
It's better to burn out than to fade away. That's what they say.
This shit will fade.
This is fading. It's starting to fade, yeah.
I still think most people will see the end of superhero genre after Endgame.
Most people tag Endgame as the end of the era.
Yeah. I think Razor Fist had the best term for it. It's the superhero hangover. We're in the hangover phase.
It just won't.
I prefer ending it at Infinity War than Endgame.
Sure. No, yeah, but I mean,
I agree.
Endgame is at least the full stop.
Hey, ultimately, Thanos won. He just did. Yes. You want to talk about getting meta? He snapped everything.
He's trying to save us. He was unsuccessful.
Yep. Ade Robertson for $9.99 for last night's gaming stream. It was amazing. Oh, thank you. I appreciate my 2 friends here for being very patient with their special needs friend, which is me. General Grievous for $4.99. Have you guys heard Mr. Krabs sing the Eminem song Without Me? The AI cover song scene is scary good. I haven't, but I will. I'm actually a big early SpongeBob fan. Early SpongeBob was genius. Absolute genius. It was a little adult. My favorite story in SpongeBob, I was watching it with my kid. And it was the seahorse episode from season 1, 2, or 3. I can't remember. And SpongeBob walks up to the seahorse. He's all, look, it's a mechanical horse. And he pulls out a quarter. And then off screen, you can tell that he put the quarter in the seahorse's ass. It goes, boing! And the seahorse kicks him. It's so fucking fun. I'm like, holy shit. He just put a quarter in a seahorse's ass. I was like, that was funny. That was funny. Shout out to all my anti-fans. Eguino Olviencia for $2. I apologize for screwing up your names.
Eugenio Olviencia.
Eugene? Is it like Eugenio?
I think so.
Eugenio? Euguin? I don't know.
Eugenio?
Or Gigantin? I don't fucking know. I've been kicked out of 3 high schools.
I don't know.
But at least I'm not from Alabama. Shit. Just kidding. I like Alabama. I drove through it. Beautiful, beautiful state. Slain Hope for $5. Hollywood is doomed after the Rust shooting in New Mexico. California tried to ban all firearms, including fakes, from film sets. Now they have a firearms safety officer on set. It was literally a 22-year-old who didn't know anything about firearms and had never held a gun in their life. Yeah, her dad was an armorer. It was nepotism. And she was way too concerned about fucking Instagram than, I don't know, making sure everything was safe. The fact that that movie's even being finished is fucking horrible. It's fucking evil. It's evil. Like,
I think what's he called? Alec Baldwin. I think he's a very evil man.
yeah, and he produced the movie, so fuck him.
Absolutely disgusting, self-absorbed narcissist. And we know we say this a lot, but he does.
No, his is clinical, dude.
Yeah, he is so preoccupied with himself. He just comes across fucking evil.
Brian Freeze for $9.99 says, "Hi peeps, what do you think of the Mike Mignola universe? Hellboy comics, one of the best things ever created in comic books, without a doubt. Read Hellboy book. Hellboy.
Mike Mignola, very stylized artist.
Yeah. Yep. It's very Kirby-esque, but it's stylized.
Very, very, very respected. And that image that I tweeted out yesterday, the She-Hulk comic.
Yeah.
And some people are saying, well, this guy's actually a good artist. Can I share it? Is this okay?
Yeah, absolutely. It's an older image, but
it's about 2015. So it's not,
they're trying very hard to be. That's Mike Allred. That's trying to be Mike Allred, Madman, and that's not pulling it off.
Pulido.
Yeah,
our friend Chuck Dixon. He's worked with Javier and Robin year one. He likes appreciates his work. Whether you like his stylized work, that's for you. Personally, I don't think it would be for my taste, even at the best of times with this artist personally. But this sort of thing is how do you think you're gonna sell a comic with that? How? It looks like a fucking fourth grader drew it.
I don't even want to look.
Well, and that was part of the problem in that era where I was selling books, is we were getting these like fucking awesome covers, dude. And then they crack it open and see that.
Well, I got I love Stanley Lau, Art Germ. Stanley Lau, incredible artist. Love his work. And I bought the 4 Fantastic Four #1 covers that he did of each of the Fantastic Four. And then I thought, well, since I've got it, let's read it. Let's see if this is any good. And I opened it up, and the artwork inside was fucking trash.
Yeah. And just go look up Mike Allred. He's fucking great. Great artist. And a lot of people try to riff on him, but yeah, not very good. No, that's part of the problem. Again, we're missing comic book artists, and they were really going for the alternative press expo type people. Zine artists, independent comic artists who just weren't Cal Arts kind of shit, who just weren't up to snuff for comic book. I mean, it might work well for your semi-autobiographical lesbians on a unicycle comic book, but not for She-Hulk. Sound Kaiser for $9.99. As thoughts on Skybound Comics getting the rights to make Transformers comics.
I ain't been collecting Transformers comics since UK one stopped. It went to IDW and it just came a lot of shit. No point. So again, to me, I love Transformers, but I love my G1 Transformers and the new cartoon. It's just crap. It's just fucking woke shit. The movies are fucking shit. You get to a point where you just get so apathetic that you're not interested in trying out new media. You do what I'm doing over here. You go, I'm gonna pick up some incredible G1 toys.
As would you say you got fatigued?
I think I got the love punched out of me.
Yeah.
That's how it feels. It doesn't feel like fatigue. It feels like somebody said, "Do you love this?" And I went, "Yes, I do." And then they just ripped it up in front of me and going,
How many times have Transformers fans, I would count myself as one of them, have just said, just give us some G1 shit. Just with no people. We'll watch the shit out of that over and over again.
Which is what at least Earthrise, at least that's what Earthrise, what it did, it's telling the stories of the Transformers as opposed to.
Well, like opening a Bumblebee.
That's superb.
It's great.
Best 10 minutes of any Transformer movie ever.
Yes, it is.
Talking about here.
But I like Sam Witwicky.
Even Spike, they're not in the cartoons a lot in the grand scale. Even the OG 1984 cartoon, it is 5, 6, 7, 8% Transformers and just a smidge of the human characters.
Yeah, like a couple of people. That's all we mean, and like they can't do it.
No, you see, the audience needs to relate.
Relate to somebody.
And they can't relate if they don't see a human on the screen.
Really?
That's what they say.
That's what they say.
That's so they say. So will I be willing to try it out? Probably not. Maybe you can twist my arm to pick up the first issue to see. But when you have Transformers talking about fucking they, thems and Optimus Prime respecting somebody's pronouns, you're just like, oh, fuck yourself. Seriously. Go take your transforming arm and shove it up your ass.
Gabriel Knight for $9.99. Why does Indy 4 get more hate than Phantom Menace or Attack of the Clones when it's objectively a better movie? Also, I think Temple of Doom is better than Last Crusade. It took a risk and Crusade played it safe.
Off.
Yeah. As soon as he said objectively, I zoned out with the rest of that.
Gabriel has a right to their opinion. You know what? That's a good question.
No matter how wrong it is.
Is Crystal Skull better than Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones? I'd have to say yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Wait, what was the question?
Is Crystal Skull better than Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones?
I'd have to rewatch it.
But it may be better than Attack of the Clones because Attack of the Clones is atrocious. But I would rather watch.
I don't like
Phantom
any of
Menace.
them. Okay, so like you're just asking me like I'm not gonna watch any of them ever again. So,
well, true. Yeah, you talk about 3 films I will never.
But if I was gonna
again.
watch something I intend to never watch again, it would probably be Crystal Skull because I have to do a review. So that's it. Oh.
Matt, chat's getting real spicy.
Riled up
over
right
this.
here. See lots of no's here.
You know what would really Gary? What's better, Revenge of the Sith or Crystal Skull?
Revenge of the Sith.
Poll.
All right.
Revenge of the Sith.
I had to do because I was like that for a second. Poll.
Okay.
Do a poll.
Yeah.
So what is the poll? The prequels versus Crystal Skull?
Which is the better film? Crystal Skull, Attack of the Clones, Phantom Menace.
Oh, everybody's gonna pick Phantom Menace. Phantom Menace is gonna win.
But you want Crystal Skull to win, huh? Gary?
I'm not.
Never
No,
thought
I
you'd
know.
say
No,
that,
no.
huh?
Okay, let me. I don't think any of them are good. Okay, so I
No,
don't
they're
like
not.
any of them. I don't care. You guys vote
all-
however you like.
They're all objectively terrible films.
They're all not very good movies with characters and situations that we love dearly. Okay, which makes them even worse, in my opinion. And like people just want to listen. Disney trilogy is the best thing that ever happened to Phantom Menace, to the Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. Because at least in both of those,
Attack of the Clones has
Attack of the
Natalie
Clones
Portman's midriff.
Attack of the Clones I like the fight between Yoda and Count Dooku, and I like the lightsaber duel at the end. I think it's the best one in all the Star Wars films. Period. It's fucking great, and the music is fucking awesome. The rest of the movie,
That's not Jewel. What's that one called?
you know
That's
what?
not Jewel.
As an original trilogy fan, I have had no desire to see baby Darth Vader ever.
No.
Ever.
No.
That was the first thing I wanted when I saw him in A New Hope. I was like, whoa.
I wonder what he was like when he was 6. I wonder what Sauron was like when he was 6. You know, it's like, fuck no.
Give
Wonder
Rings
what
of Time a
Sauron was
second.
like.
They might do a flashback.
Wonder what Sauron was like when he's hanging around in the middle of the fucking ocean looking.
Well, he was like wanting to smash Galadriel. That's what he wanted to do, obviously.
It's looking like
That was in a
Oh,
secret. That was in letter 1047 of the appendices that was totally not written by Simon. But
Jane,
then
get out the chat. Get out. Jane, get out.
What did Jane say?
Hi, Jane Theory.
Said the Crystal Skull was fun. Now, if you talk about Crystal Skull vodka, we can talk.
Hi, everybody. Gary, your Golem stream was awesome. You definitely have skills. Yeah, I do. I really do. Can't wait for the new Indiana Jones movie and your coverage. Hail. As fads.
They just type ASDF like
Okay.
3 times.
You're fucking with me now. Yeah, I can't. I really can wait to see it. To be honest with you, I could take my time. As a matter of fact, I'm getting my crowns replaced the morning before Indiana Jones, and I'm looking forward to that more.
Oh my god, the high.
Oh, I won't be high.
Oh.
No.
No
What do they do for
Novocaine.
those?
No Novocaine?
Well, I'm doing the Novocaine, but I'm not going to be doing like laughing
Okay.
gas or anything like that. No.
Oh.
Hell no.
Gary, Crystal Skull got beat the fuck out.
I'm not surprised.
Heavily.
I'm sorry that your
it's a
pick,
terrible,
Crystal Skull,
terrible,
got a-
terrible film.
Gary was rooting for Crystal Skull.
I
but,
wasn't rooting
you know.
for anybody. I hope you all lose.
It's like, which do you prefer? Cancer, AIDS, or hepatitis?
I know. Hey,
Well,
Az,
If you have AIDS, you can get a job in Toronto.
you could. There's an AIDS themed restaurant. Hey, Az,
Where they'll kill you and eat a
I thought
couple.
you were about to say an AIDS theme park.
they have an AIDS themed restaurant, and Normal World was doing jokes, and they completely missed the Dallas Buyers Club sandwich. Okay, for the menu, because they were making fun of the menu, and I'm like, the Dallas Buyers Club sandwich. Come on, that's like right there. How could the comedians miss that? Hey,
Right.
Az, are there many man milkers in a celeb jihad? Asks Cream NATO.
One can only hope. One can only hope.
Lance, for $10, there are only 3 Indiana Jones films: The Temple of Doom,
Correct.
The Last Crusade, and The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Raiders was a good movie, but it's not an Indiana Jones film. Okay, well, you got that's funny. It's not because Indiana Jones is one of the fucking Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's called Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's still an Indiana Jones film, and there's only 3, and the last one was The Last Crusade, which was a damn good movie. I'd watch it right now if I could.
I might watch it right now.
Astari Azul for $1.99. Does Kamala have any fans? Why do they push her? No. Kamala has Sana Amanat, who has been strangely quiet.
Yeah, hasn't said anything since I announced that she's been fired from Marvel. Been very quiet. No, not a peep out of her. The only thing that she's tweeted since was a little bit of a push of the Marvel's TV show. She did one tweet, I think. Still nothing. Wonder why that is. I wonder why that is. They don't get these people, folks. Yeah, I said these people.
They were
don't
real-
get
okay.
fired like regular people.
So
they get quietly ushered out.
Kamala was introduced. I had the shop. She was introduced in Marvel Now, but they started really pushing her when Donald Trump did what was called the Muslim ban, which wasn't really a Muslim ban. But that's when they really started pushing the Muslim superhero so they could contradict the man who made all of entertainment, publishing, and big tech and everybody go absolutely insane. They really started pushing that hard. And they wanted to make her the next Spider-Man. That was said over and over and over and over again as recently as January of this year in the Access Media. They were saying Kamala Khan can be the next Spider-Man. Miles Morales can't even be the next Spider-Man, okay? There's only one fucking Spider-Man. I don't know how many times I got to say this.
And he's got Spider-Man in the title somewhere.
It's like, oh, his movie did good. Yeah, how is comics selling? How is everything else selling? Not so good.
I think did we already establish earlier in the stream that there is a definite separation between movies and comics.
There is. And there's a comic coming out called Strange Academy that features on the title the Amazing Spider-Man, who just so happens to be Peter Parker, and Miles Morales. It doesn't say Spider-Man, it says Miles Morales. That answers the question. An objective truth. Miles Morales is Miles Morales.
If you want to find a Miles Morales statue on Sideshow,
you got to search.
You got to search for Miles Morales.
There you go. JMD Reed for $10. Temple of Doom is the worst of the three indie films. Well, I mean, it's the third best, but that still makes it better than most. Just rewatched. Best movie is Lord of the Rings. It is one movie. Well, I mean, if you want to consider it that way, the trilogy is one movie. Yes, it is, but it's technically three. It's my favorite thing. Lazy Tom for $5. Who review or me boogaloo woo woo?
Okay.
I think that he's asking for the top 5 Doctor Who.
I've got my list, but we are 8 minutes away from ending, so. Naughty Dog, Az's favorite, on the Streamlabs side for $20. We decided to make 4 good Indiana Jones Uncharted games after Crystal Skull, so we were so pissed about it, just wanted to prove that that we're better than Lucas and Spielberg. 5 if you don't count the spin-off.
Well, they made 3 good Uncharted games.
I know, it's a really shitty movie.
Uncharted 4, not so much.
And a really shitty movie.
I didn't see the movie.
I did.
Surprised.
I did say.
Did you?
I did. Tom Holland is not.
Did it not have any sort of fun? Was it not?
Tom Holland is not a leading man, dude. If Mark Wahlberg was the leading guy, I probably would have liked it more. Uncharted movie.
Oh, Freeney said it was awful.
It's fucking terrible. Tom Holland is not a leading man.
Well, he's not Nathan fucking Drake. I'll tell you that for nothing. That's terrible casting.
It is awful casting because he's very tiny.
He's very tiny and he looks like 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Even though he's 26.
And then he's acting right next to Mark Wahlberg, who looks like Nathan Drake. It's like,
who looks like Nathan Drake?
It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Where Sully's meant to be like 60.
Yep.
60. Oh.
There's a clip where he's in an interview and they're talking about, I guess, some random stuff, but he was recently in that show with Amanda Seyfried, I think, that did terrible. Like, everyone hates it. It's got terrible reviews. And he just says very candidly, like, yeah, you know, you can never give up. You know, it's kind of like how my show, I mean, everyone hates it, and I'm just trying to, you know, do what I can to, you know. And I was like, oh my god,
good lord.
And yeah, because there's Uncharted. There's a couple of other things he's done. He's not found a lot of success beyond Spider-Man, unfortunately for him.
I like Tom Holland as
I think he's a perfectly good actor.
Yeah, well, I think as a person as well, he comes across as a really nice guy.
But he's not having luck outside of Spooderman, which they're already sorting out a 4th film, right, for the MCU, I assume.
Well,
no.
Oh, sorry.
From what I can gather, they're in negotiations with him. And he hasn't committed to saying yes. However, Cracky McFucking Freaky Hair has come out and said yeah. And I don't think he's put pen to paper by the sound of it.
Well then.
Hang on. Why am I always forgetting that woman's name? I think my brain just wants to.
I know. Mine's gone dead with her as well.
God, it always does.
A tweaking crackhead.
I'm not sure who we're talking about.
She produced Ghostbusters 2016.
Vanessa,
No. I always forget her name.
Come on, chat. You gotta.
Chat, help us out. Amy Pascal.
Amy Pascal, yeah.
So Amy Pascal came and said they're working on one. Now, what I heard was that that he was under contract for Sony for one more, but it's not a Marvel movie. It's a Sony movie. So Marvel and Sony are currently in negotiations, but they really haven't moved on that really fast at all, have they? I mean, they just had a movie It's the only superhero movie to hit over $1 billion since Endgame. So in 5 years, and they're not on a fast track to make a fucking sequel? What's going on? What the fuck is going on? You know what? Sony's playing hardball, as they should, because they're in the fucking driver's seat. And Marvel doesn't have the money. Marvel probably had a brief opportunity to buy Spider-Man, and they chose to buy Fox instead. That was a mistake.
Do you think I honestly think that Sony will like they probably got like a break glass in emergency paper, and then it just says don't sell Spider-Man.
They never will.
We're about to die. Don't sell Spider-Man.
That's why we're getting Across the Spider-Verse and Kraven, because that is putting Spider-Man properties into production, which will keep their rights in perpetuity.
Yeah.
So they don't care if Kraven makes any fucking money. They get to keep Spider-Man, and they can focus on Spider-Man and bring back, now they're in a total driver's seat. We can bring back Garfield. We can bring back Toby. We can do whatever the fuck we want. And it'll do better than any Marvel film. If they did if they said Sam Raimi makes Spider-Man 4, it'd fucking kill. It would destroy.
I tell you what I would do. I'd do Andrew Garfield and get Gwen Stacy back and do a live action with Ghost Spider.
You get a decent director and a decent writer. Don't get Kurtzman. Fuck.
Yeah. No, Kurtzman's getting nowhere near this. That's what I would do.
Three Bear Thunder for $19.99. Raiders is great, but Pain Don't Hurt Roadhouse is the greatest movie of all time. I liked Roadhouse. It's good.
You could feel my wife's titties for $20. It's just, this is great. Yeah.
Roadhouse.
Cheap.
Dude, Roadhouse, Next of Kin. Next of Kin's a great fucking movie, too. Patrick Swayze and Liam Neeson.
Roadhouse confused the shit out of me. I'm just like, why is this bar in the middle of fucking nowhere?
Oh, dude.
Whoa. The most expensive bodyguards of all time.
Okay. You think it's crazy, I just drove through the South. I mean, all of it. Damn near all of it. I hit 7 states. And there were not only bars in the fucking middle, what looks like the middle. The thing is, it looks like the middle of nowhere. There's trees everywhere. Sure. Okay.
Sure.
There was quite a few triple X-ray girl shops in the middle of nowhere. In the middle of nowhere. And I'm like, damn. Like you'd see like a little billboard, like, get you
Celebrity Jihad.
Celebrity Jihad.
I'm not
around the
getting
corner.
any royalties from this. What
No,
the
you're
heck?
Lady Greymaster for $5. Please don't fire me. I actually love Batman and Robin. Alicia Silverstone looked great in her, because she did. She was a fucking terrible Batgirl, but she looked great.
I love that movie too.
But she looked great.
And I wanted to be her as a kid.
I wanted to be inside.
Big Raj, thumbs up super sticker for $1.99. Thank you very much. The Outsider for £5 just tuned in. Holy shit, where did the other half of you go?
Down. It's all just there, down on the.
Saying it like fell down.
It just went.
It's like a cartoon.
We didn't talk. Shit.
I'm like that.
We didn't talk about Star Trek.
You're like a toothpaste tube. We just squeezed.
yeah, and it just all went down to the bottom.
Vincent Turcotte for 2 Canadian pesos. Don't you guys have any self-own? Self-own? Blizzard.
Nice. Yes, you guys. No,
I got it.
Davy verse. On the Streamlab side for $10.69. Very specific. Kids are savage as fuck. Next door kid was getting bullied. I went to break them up. The bully tried starting on me, and I told him to go fetch his dad. Turns out he didn't have one. Next door's kid, his dad went for milk and never came back. I was dead laughing. Wow. Yes. Hail to the panel. Gary, if you like a Western, you should take a look at the BD Bond Dessinée Durango. I have not only taken a look at it, I own it. 18 volumes, 1981 to 2021. Cheers. Topek, $8.99. I own some. Some of the translated stuff, because I don't speak French. I got the trans stuff. It's a really different Western. It's a really different Western. As might like it.
Willing to give it a go. It's got a nice ride.
Viper699. Hey, Gary Naz, off topic. But who were your favorite classic G.I. Joe Cobra characters?
I love Bazooka. Oh, Cobra characters. Okay, Bazooka was not. He was a G.I. Destro. Love Destro because of the helmet. Baroness, of course, because she was hot. And I love Crimson Guards. I love Crimson Guards. Love them, love them, love them.
All right then.
All right.
I've ordered the I know we're pushed for time. Fuck yeah. You know the HasLabs recently did the G.I. Joe 1 in 6 classified Cobra hisses. So I ordered 2 of those. Jeremy, fake G.I. Joe fan, ordered none.
Just absolute poser.
Yeah, complete. You got Cobra hisses for sale, and it's just like, oh, I forgot. Oh, fake fan. So I've got this whole thing planned out. I bought myself a bunch of Crimson Guards, classified Crimson Guards. I say a bunch. Got about 8 of them, and then I've got some Crimson Bats as well. So I'm gonna, in the module case, I'm gonna put a base down inside of it, and I'm gonna fill that base with sand. So that's gonna go with sand. Then I'm gonna put the 2 Cobra hisses like coming over the dune, on top of the dune. And I'm going to have this army of Crimson Guards coming into the, in front of it and around the dune and all that. And then some Crimson Bats mixed in with it as well. And then on the other side, I'm going to have the 2 Dragonflies, which are now up on the HasLabs, which you can still get. Still about 20 days left or something. And I'm going to have the 2 Dragonfly helicopters coming at them. And I'm going to have a bunch of the G.I. Joes, like Bazooka. Bazooka's my favorite. Snake Eyes and Bazooka, they're my 2 favorites, and all that.
Yeah,
Duke
Snake Eyes is everybody's
Scarlet
favorite. That's my favorite.
Of course.
Sergeant Slaughter, when he showed up.
I've got that. I've got it.
Love fucking Sergeant Slaughter.
You're going to put any Crimson Dawn in there?
Yeah.
That's a deep cut.
Yes.
Crimson Dawn. Peter Brady for $20. Movies are in such a bad place right now that there are only 3 or maybe 4 that I'm currently looking forward to. Oppenheimer, Mission Impossible, possibly Kraven the Hunter, and Godzilla versus King Kong. Yeah, Mission Impossible and Dune 2 I'm genuinely looking forward to. Oppenheimer is like, I'm going to see it, but I'm like, I can't wait to see it. I'm like, I'm going to see it.
I don't know if I can be asked with Oppenheimer.
It's 3 hours,
It'll
dude.
depend. It might depend on what Gary says if he goes and sees it.
Yeah.
I would think.
Maybe get some feedback.
I'll see it.
I'm going to go to the future and tell you what he said. He said it was too long. I just spoke to Gary from the future.
You did. I'll probably say it
was too long and too boring, and the script's actually not really that good at all.
Well, apparently they're
when the nukes went off, though. That was fun.
They're playing it really fast and loose with the facts. And Oppenheimer was a complicated dude. Okay, so.
But if you've listened to the trailer, there's some very bad dialogue in that trailer.
Well, maybe we won't be able to hear it.
Yeah, it's because
of all the bombs.
No, but Dune 2, I am looking forward to. I saw that trailer.
Looking forward to when they dropped the bomb on Nagasaki.
I was in the Flash in IMAX, and the best thing I saw was the Dune trailer in IMAX. I was like, oh, that looks really rad in IMAX. So
serious question: are you going to watch Barbie?
Yes.
Probably.
I'm married. And my wife and I were just talking about it today. She's like, come on, you got some morbid curiosity. I'm all, I do. I do.
I want to see Simu Liu. Just extra.
Did you hear what Kate McKinnon said about it?
Oh, go for it.
He said, it's about gender and how you starve your body of half of your true self or something.
Do you know
basically she's saying men are women and women are men.
What?
Everyone's everything.
Kate McKinnon, known as what, lesbian comedian?
Very unfunny lesbian.
That's probably a better description. Kate McKinnon from Ghostbusters 2016.
Unfunny lesbian.
2016, Kate McKinnon, right? Ghostbusters 2016.
She was in that, yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was going to say, by the way, about Oppenheimer, isn't it kind of nuts that we have a movie coming from someone who's considered like one of the greatest directors of all time, auteur, along with Spielberg and others, and yet everyone is wondering whether or not he's going to mix it properly that we can hear it.
Yeah, that's a bit of a problem.
Well, MauLer, what do you think about this? Do you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
They sure mixed that perfectly. I heard him loud and clear.
Yep.
And they got nuts in that movie, man. They went,
Ooh.
they went pretty nuts.
Malakot63 for $5. Hail. Would love to see you guys do an EFAP Movies episode of Dick Tracy. Love y'all. I like Dick Tracy. I like that movie a lot.
Good film, but very kind of comic.
Well, that's what it was supposed to be.
Looks like the comic. I know.
It was. It was basically Warren Beatty.
Warren Beatty. Yeah.
Doing his best Tim Burton. And
fucking Madonna.
Well, fucking Madonna, but with an amazing cast. Like, there is an insane cast in that movie. Al Pacino's in that fucking movie. So, and I liked it a lot. I thought it had tons of style, and I thought it was cool. Bowtie Fungi on the Streamlabs side for $25. I just got my own copy of Joe Frankenstein Part 1, my second comic book. Oh, that's awesome. The start to my collection with ISOM #1. Hail, Eric July. Eric, if you're out there, we're going to get you on a real BBC sooner than later in the next couple weeks, because I know he's watching right now.
Oh, yeah.
That's all he's doing.
I know he's got things coming up that he wants to talk about. He's got so much shit coming up, but there's something coming up that he wants to talk about that I want him to talk about. I'm waiting for Joe Frankenstein Part 2, ISOM #2, The Ghost of Matacumbe, Key, First Kill, Ghost of the Badlands, can't wait for Ghost of the Badlands, and Shadow of the Conqueror, which is in the works, Shad. I get you Kiwis mixed up. He got his printing stuff worked out. Hammer now for $9.99. MauLer, is Buffy, what's your take on the inconsistencies between vampires and how exactly their souls operate?
There's a lot of theories that get expanded and changed as time goes on. They clearly changed their mind on a couple things, but I think it does sit relatively well, and I think it's some of the most impressive, like, soul mechanics to help explain, soul mechanics as a mechanic is crazy, right? So you almost think, like, what? Souls and there's mechanics? Like, yeah, kind of. And the soul in Buffy represents your ability to choose. Basically, you're not an ego monster, or an id monster, I should say. That's what Joss, I think, wanted it to be. Vampires are supposed to represent never growing up, versus the main characters who do. All the monsters are supposed to represent something of a challenge to growing up. Buffy's 7 seasons are supposed to represent different things that you learn as a person as you're growing up from memory. I think it's supposed to be season 1's mortality, season 2's sexuality, season 3's morality rather than mortality, season 4's identity, season 5's sacrifice, season 6 is essentially like the enemy that is yourself, depression, a lot to do with the mind and stuff. And then 7 is supposed to be leadership, which is like the last stage of becoming an adult, or at least for a lot of people. I find all that really, really interesting, and I like how it applies in a lot of ways. The soul mechanics, though, they get complicated because ultimately it's like you get Spike, Angel losing and gaining, and all kinds of curses and different behaviors. You have to take it episode by episode and try and figure it out. It's literally 12 seasons of soul mechanics and vampires and different creatures, demons that sometimes seemingly have souls, but also maybe don't, and blah blah blah. I think it does pretty okay.
Yeah.
I really like it, and I think it was a good shot.
Character, for the most part, not the entire series. There's character consistency, and the characters are engaging. You fuck with the inconsistencies on some of the plot mechanisms that can be overshadowed with good character and dialogue. I've always said that. Michael Moore for $50. Gary, Gary, it is time to get off the MCU and start talking about making the live action movies for the Elric saga. My beliefs on that is I would love to see that someday. Do not make them now. Do not make them now. Or Elric will be a black woman with a shaved head.
Yeah.
Okay. But I would love to. I would absolutely love to. Bowtie Fungi, should I bag and board my comics with the new stuff, or are they good the way they are shipped? I would if you want to upgrade, I would use MauLer. but they're pretty good with the stuff. You're fine with the stuff that was shipped in for now.
We got the casting for Superman Legacy.
That we do?
Yeah.
Let's see it.
Oh, shit, really?
Shared it below. Yeah.
Wait, is it public?
It is public.
All right.
Superman
Deadline.
Legacy, James Gunn taps David Cornswet and Rachel Brosnahan for Clark Kent and Lois in DC Studios.
She's the one from the Miss Maisel show, right?
Yep. So that
And
was
she
rumored.
in House of Cards.
Fucking hell.
And the guy on the left doesn't look that different from Henry Cavill, so I don't know why
Oh,
you just.
really?
Very strong chin.
Yeah, how old is David Cornswet?
Well, I mean, that about wraps it up for Comic-Con. That would have been a pretty good Comic-Con announcement, wouldn't it?
Well, it says they haven't announced themselves for Comic-Con, so they could easily say, no, we're not coming.
oh, he's 29. So yeah, I guess
Yeah,
they're
he's
hoping
10
to get a lot
years
of time
younger
out of
than
him.
Cal.
10 years
Think so.
younger. All right. I mean, he kind of looks like Superman. It's not,
No, I think physically looks good.
Hey, they cast a
Has he-
white guy as
I think
Superman. I'm fucking shocked.
I know. And Lois. And Lois.
And Lois.
She
Uh,
looks pretty. I mean, I
she's,
think. I
yeah,
mean,
she's got a Margot
aesthetically, I think,
Kidder-ish
they
thing
look
going
good.
on. Yeah, yeah. We'll see. We'll see. That's way to kill Blue Beetle. All your other movies.
Dude, it was already dead.
It was already dead.
It was already dead. It's a dead man walking.
Yep. James Gunn should be focusing completely on Superman and nothing else. Nothing else. Nothing else matters. If you don't get this, if this Superman movie doesn't make $1 billion fucking and it's not a massive hit, your universe is dead on arrival, which I think is the case. Yeah. I mean, like, Snyder fans are going to be pissed. Henry Cavill fans are going to be pissed. We'll see how it plays out. Breaking news. That's what you come to the real BBC for, don't you? Like right at the end.
We were the first people to ever say what the casting.
Well, yes, we were. Yes, we were. Wow. I'll have to dig into it. I've got a video coming out right after this that doesn't talk about it at all. But we will, I'm sure we're going to talk about this the rest of the week. We got Friday Night Tights coming up with Baggage Claim.
Nice.
Baggage Claim is coming. She's awesome.
Yeah.
And Indiana Jones will suck all the oxygen out of the room for everything once it comes out. Believe me.
Yay.
And then suck all the energy out of our souls. And then we'll forget about it 5 days after it flops. 3 more to go. Rick Cox for $19.99 with the Elon and Zuckerberg fight in the air. What would everyone's ideal matchups for UFC between members of the real BBC and the toxic brood from EFAP and FNT? Oh, Az versus MauLer. That's totally.
He's an eldritch god.
Yeah.
But you can get a gun.
Guns aren't effective on eldritch gods.
It might
I need
distract me.
I need like holy water and some sort of religious artifacts from 2,000 years ago and banishing rituals and
You'll need the Ark of the Covenant and the Holy Grail.
yeah, dual wield.
Unavailable 151 on the Streamlabs side for $25. Hail. Why does it say Hail FNT? Hail FNT. Shout out to
They
my
wrote
dad.
FNT.
Shout out to my dad who got one of your
Different
shirts
day,
on his
same shit.
Father's Day gift 1 week late. I know he's watching this right now, and I hope and he hopes Dan Vass gets to 1 million before Gary. Honestly, I do too. Fuck your dad. Okay. Just kidding. Oh, I see who my friends are. I do. I see. Okay. John gets for $20 on the Streamlabs side. Funny story from the world of manga.
We'll be the judge of that.
Yeah, we'll be the judge of that. In One Piece, a character gag was misinterpreted as trans representation. I think I remember this. The author made a color spread recently, having her with the woman and promptly got death threats. Had her as a woman and promptly got death threats from people having their fan theories contradicted. Yeah, it's about. Az, were you talking about this? Somebody was talking about this on a live stream. They take ownership. They have these little fan theories, then they take ownership. These little sects on on the internet, on Twitter. And
Sex on the internet?
well, who was talking about sex?
This is
not
about the
sex with an
Gwen,
X.
The Gwen
Sex is
Stacy
in
thing.
groups. Is in groups.
Not
Sex. It was somebody. I think it might have been just some guy talking about a Gwen in Miles Morales 2.
Yeah,
because of the colors, which are
trying to say that Gwen was trans.
Because there were trans colors when they're just, as he pointed out, pastel colors of Spider-Man's colors. That's all they are.
But they're also talking about the fact that she had protect trans kids above her door.
So all of a sudden she's
trans. Was wearing a trans badge. So like Gwen's trans. And then everyone's just going, she ain't trans, shut the fuck up. And the person that was saying it was just like, well, she's trans in my head canon. And
I guess nobody has a problem with that, but it's not going to be that way. It'll be a group of, and then like if the creators come out and say she isn't, they'll get destroyed. They'll get destroyed.
It's about implanting the.
So it's going to force them to say yes eventually at some point, right? Which
this is what the media does as well, though. The media, when it comes to casting,
you know what that's called? Authoritarian.
We need a black Superman.
It's called authoritarianism. I am going to force and intimidate you to believe something you don't believe and never intended.
Yeah, welcome to the
way to become what you hate. All right, we're gonna end it there. Az, what you got coming up? Could you narrow it down to 20 things?
I got the real BBC on Friday to go with today's FNT.
Okay.
Trying to finish off and just trying to play as much Final Fantasy 16 as possible. After I finish Final Fantasy 16, the next game I'm going to do is going up, only up.
How high?
Sunday, I will still do, even though there's no Super Chat Square, I will still do an afternoon tea with Az on Sunday. Let's keep that going because that's been going well so far. It's been a lot of fun. So let's do that on Sunday. Sunday Fun Day. Sunday, 6 p.m. UK time. Afternoon tea with Az, 2:30 UK time. This Thursday, Fully Articulated, Robert Mann Burnett's channel. Friday Night Tights with Baggage Claim and other people. I'll be talking about Indiana Jones and the Temple of Poon.
Do you think they rushed out the Superman casting to, I don't know, contradict the abysmal second week drop off of a movie that James Gunn said was fucking amazing? Do you think that might have sped that up?
I think they rushed it. I think they rushed it out because they're not going to go to Comic-Con. Honestly, that's what I think.
Well, I don't think they ever intended to, but I think both can be true. I think they really needed to counteract that narrative because these flops are doing so much damage to a brand that's already damaged, that was never built up. That
and they've got so many more to go.
I know, dude.
Sweet.
So, and Superman's not coming out till 2025. Right. So that's the one smart thing DC is doing, is they have one movie coming out next year, but that's not long enough a break. They need like a 3-year break. 3-year break minimum. And it's still not going to help. It's not going to help, folks. Once it starts to cascade, it turns into an avalanche and it dies. MauLer, what you got coming up?
Editing. Saturday, you'll be able to watch EFAP do a breakdown of Indiana Jones and the Death of Destiny. That's going to be fun. Checking out
Dialysis of Destiny.
How it ends again. Probably spending a lot of time talking about how they ended it in the third one really well, and that it never should have gone into a fourth or fifth, but whatever. This is what happened, and that we're going to punish Lucasfilm just a little bit for existing at this point.
Lucasfilm has done that to itself. But don't worry, the Acolyte is coming out.
Is it?
When?
Thank goodness.
Is it?
Yes, it is.
Are we sure on that?
Well, they shot it.
Are we sure on that?
They shot it.
I have seen rumors of cancellation, but I didn't know if any of it was like true.
Well, they said Leslie Headland had been fired. That'd be pretty big news. Or she either quit or got fired. That'd be pretty big news. You don't like secretly fire somebody. Okay. When they're the head of your show. We'll find out.
Ooh.
What do you got coming up, man? A video in months?
In months, in years, more than likely. But also, yeah, EVAP, Indiana, and we're going to have, possibly have some fun guests, including, but not limited to, someone who is here right now. the one who claims that the best Indiana Jones film is Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. You know, I'm going to debate him on that.
Yep.
Debate me, brah.
Because Kingdom of the Skulls of the Crystals is just not very good. Okay, Gary, I'm tired of you. I'm tired of you rooting for it. It's enough. Got to stop this.
You just hate Shia LaBeouf.
LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf.
Doesn't do it.
Yeah.
Doesn't do it.
Shia LaBeouf. All right.
Isn't he a Catholic now or something?
Maybe.
Oh, I don't know.
Good for him.
Gone Catholic.
X-Ray Girl. What you got coming up?
I am going to be playing games on my channel as per usual. Tomorrow we have Steph, my nerdy homecoming, on Poor Choices. So if you have any questions, we're going to post a post on Twitter for her. Just reply there, or come and actually join and ask in the chat while we drink wine and become the wine moms that Gary talks about. We're just not moms.
All right.
I'm not a mom. I have 2 dogs.
Not yet.
People
That counts.
cringe. One day.
One day.
There's 2 of me. Right there. There's one on his face. It's really weird to say out loud.
It's an X-Ray.
X-ray girl sat on my face. What?
Wow.
Why did I say that?
The real BBC in the top 5 of Doctor Who returns next week on Az's channel.
Oh no, dude! I've got new law for that. My new law for that is we're saving it for a rainy day.
It's always raining somewhere.
Yeah,
There's-
especially in the UK,
next
dude.
week it's gonna be, all we're gonna talk about next week is probably Indiana Jones.
Oh,
and this
yeah,
shit.
that's true.
Fucking bullshit.
And Superman casting and
Superman
superhero
casting
fatigue
and
and
all
all
kinds
kinds
of
of shit. Yeah. Is Adrian Curry in the chat? What's up, Adrian?
She was earlier. I saw her.
Hail Adrian
Hi,
Curry.
Adrian.
Cool people. I got a video coming out. Fuck it, I'll put it out today. I usually don't like to put them out this late in the afternoon, but screw it, because we got Secret Invasion and Indiana Jones and Witcher to deal
Witcher
with in the
3.
next fucking week. So you're just getting a lot of stuff, okay? All right.
Is Witcher dropping it? Is it just shitting out his ass?
Shitting out his Netflix's
episodes.
ass, 6
Yeah.
episodes, midnight.
Some auto flush sort of stuff.
Oh.
On
Midnight Thursday. I might watch the first episode.
2
That's
sets
all.
are
That's
dropping.
all out. That's all out. Oh no! I cancelled Netflix. I'm not gonna watch it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to watch till like after Friday, dude. It's just not in the cards. All right, so look for videos and stuff and things. And thanks for watching. Geek Grind Coffee, Meta PC. Sorry we couldn't put the commercial up front. X-Ray Girl's fired.
Wow!
Huh?
You're fired.
Is it because I'm so hot? No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
No, it's because you're Asian.
You'll know.
You're
I
a
feel
woman
like
and you're Asian. Like,
I feel like
People?
I'm like a kid again. My parents like, not good enough. It was an A-. You should be getting A's.
yeah. You should be getting
Good night. Thanks to the Nerdrotic. Thanks to everyone who left a super chat and donation. You will get the rest on a square up, which will be Sunday. It's not going to be Thursday because Thursday's going to be a busy day. I'll be watching Indiana Jones and doing a review.
Yay.
So look for the square up on Sunday and all kinds of stuff coming up this week. So you'll probably get sick of me. Until then,
Yeah.
see you next time.
Bye.
Bye, boo.
Bye. Bye. Are we going to play the theme? I guess we could. Sure.
Mm.
Yeah, man.
The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.